It's just north of 60 degrees and windy in Prosper, Texas, as we welcome you to Children's Health Stadium for a Week 10 Thursday night matchup as the first-year Prosper Richland Raiders play host to the visiting Titans of the Houston Legacy School of Sport Sciences. Hello, everyone, whether you're watching us on TexanLive.com or for free on YouTube. Welcome to the DCTX Rising Game of the Week broadcast booth. As always, I'm Gavin Moritz, and as always, joining me to my left, Carter Yates and our Dave Campbell's Director of Recruiting, Greg Powers. Carter, we start with you. Prosper Richland in its first varsity season, right? They're winners of 3 in a row. Houston Legacy 4-4. Expect some fireworks in this one.
And we're going to see it at the very beginning with Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences quarterback Keyshawn Henderson, the #1 player in the DCTX Hot 100, Greg Powers. I think this is the highest-rated player I will have ever seen in my work at Dave Campbell's in person.
That's pretty cool, man, because Keyshawn Henderson is the #1 player for a reason. He's a very athletic quarterback, but he's not the only top star out there on this squad, as they also have 4-star wide receiver commit Mike Brown, the number 47 player overall in our DCTX Rising Hot 100, and he's, of course, committed to Texas A&M, while as Keyshawn Henderson, he's taken his talents to Houston, staying at home and playing for the Cougs.
And so the Houston Legacy School of Sports Sciences just recovered that very short onside kick style kickoff from Prosper Richland.
Prosper Richland
49-yard line.
Trying to steal a possession because they know how dangerous Keyshawn Henderson is. They are going to have an uphill battle trying to stop this kid tonight. He is special.
And so out will come Keyshawn Henderson and the Titans from the plus 49-yard line. First play from scrimmage upcoming for Houston Legacy. Keyshawn Henderson stands in the shotgun, 1st and 10 from the plus 49. Henderson drops, dumps it off, passes caught behind the line of scrimmage. They throw it back to Henderson. Keyshawn Henderson back inside his own 35, takes a shot downfield, and it is incomplete inside the 15. A little bit of trickeration on the first play from scrimmage, drawn up by Coach Bishop.
I said double pass alert. I was wrong. That was a triple pass action. Houston Legacy opening it up with throwing out everything but the kitchen sink.
They made the trip all the way up here from Spring, Texas to take on Prosper Richland, and they said, why not go for it all on the first play of the game? A little bit long developing with that play, and I think the receiver just outran the route a little bit. There was no way that they could have a connection there.
The receivers to watch for Houston Legacy, Braden McNeil, Timmy Timmerman, Damaris Richardson, and the A&M commit out wide, Michael Brown. Henderson looks to drop and throw on 2nd down and 10. Henderson shot downfield, man wide open is Michael Brown. Here's the future Aggie into the end zone on the second play for a touchdown for Houston Legacy.
Pitch and catch right there for Keyshawn Henderson to Mike Brown. It's the old hat for them. They've been doing this for a long time here at Legacy School of Sports Sciences. Wow, 2 big plays. They tried to take the top off the defense, and they went 1 for 2, and one of them resulted in a touchdown.
And how about the block there, too, from the wide receiver, number 4, Braden McNeil. He's the 3rd leading receiver on Houston Legacy, and his block right there actually sprung Brown for the touchdown.
And so does a future Coug to a future Aggie for the first points of the night. A 49-yard touchdown strike from Keyshawn Henderson to Michael Brown, and now Legacy will opt to go for 2 here with 11:39 to play in the first quarter. 5 wide, Keyshawn Henderson will now motion a man across the formation. As in motion, he sends Damaris Richardson. And a flag down pre-snap, delay of game called against the Titans. This is a Houston Legacy program that plays, as you've already seen through 2 plays in this upcoming 2-point conversion attempt, plays a very aggressive style of football on offense. And with the guys they have, Carter, why not?
Yeah, so many Division I talents, Power 4 commits on the side of the ball, led by quarterback Keyshawn Henderson, who's about to take the snap here.
Ball backed up to the 8. Houston Legacy going for 2. Keyshawn dances out of a sack. Here's Keyshawn Henderson. What he does best is he fires, and it's incomplete. Off the hands it goes of Timmy Timmerman, incomplete on the 2-point try. This will remain 6-0 Houston Legacy.
An incomplete pass, but Powers, that's the athleticism that makes him the #1 overall player in the state.
That was also a rocket, and I think that he put the ball right where he needed to. He put it right on the receiver's hands. And Timmy Timmerman is a guy that makes a lot of plays in this offense, and one of the sleepers coming into this game that I'm very excited to watch tonight.
And so Houston Legacy, it only took them 2 plays to go 49 yards. They get it all in that second play. From Keyshawn to Michael Brown for a 49-yard strike. They opt to go for 2 after getting the ball at the plus 49. They do not get it. It is 6-0 Houston Legacy. And now, Carter, we're set to get our first look here at the Prosper Richland offense, a very young group.
Young group because the school just opened in 2025. They're playing an outlaw schedule this year because they opened in between realignments, so could not play a UIL schedule. They will do that next year. They have pulled from Prosper High, the flagship program in Prosper ISD, and seniors and juniors had the option to go to Richland or they could be grandfathered into Prosper. So 12 seniors made the choice to come to Prosper Richland, and they start off 0-6, and what Coach Kenneth Gilchrist told the team, this might be the toughest schedule that anyone at Prosper Richland will play. Since then, I've gone on a 3-game win streak heading into this game. This is the last game of the season tonight. This crew has set the tone for Prosper Richland for the years to come.
Prosper Richland on the return from back inside the 25-yard line. They need a block down the sideline, and hopping out of bounds across the 45, just shy of midfield. For the Raiders, there goes Donovan Ross, the junior wide receiver.
6'4", 185, 190 pounds. Watching tape coming into this game, he's a 2027 recruit, and I think he's a guy that has a chance to play at the next level as well. Definitely has the size, and love to see him out there in the open field on a kick return.
And so that brings out here the Prosper Richland offense, starting 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line, just a yard shy of midfield. And leading the offense out will be Keegan Dawson, the quarterback. Dawson lines up in the shotgun with Julian Thomas offset to his left, the running back. Handoff, they go to Julian Thomas. And Julian Thomas will make his way to the 48-yard line into Legacy territory, a gain of 3.
And Coach Kenneth Gilchrist told us this week that scoring 33 points in the Lebanon Christian game was really a turning point because they had less procedural penalties like false starts and illegal procedures. Really just started to get out of their own way, and they're playing some really good football now heading into tonight.
Brings up a 2nd down and 7 here from the Legacy 48 as Dawson against the blitz off the left side will tuck and run. He's trying to spin out of trouble here, and he's brought down back to the line of scrimmage, cut down by Houston Legacy. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage, and the Titans perhaps got going a little early on the blitz maybe. And that they did. They try to come off the left tackle around the edge there to try to get to Keegan Dawson right at the snap of the football. They got going a little early, and it goes from a takedown at the line of scrimmage to bring up 3rd and 7, now to a 2nd down and 2 at the plus 43.
All set up by that return from Donovan Ross.
They motion Thomas. Dawson pumps. Dawson over the middle. It's caught. 1st down, Prosper Richland to the 36-yard line of Houston Legacy. Brought in by K.D. Wilson, wearing number 17 here for the Raiders. And it's a 1st down, the first of the night for Prosper Richland.
And the matchup that I was really keyed in on for this game is Prosper Richland's wide receivers versus the secondary of Legacy. You know, right? They've got a bunch of guys out there. Gerald Green going to play at Boston College, and Eli Kelly, a 2027 guy, wearing number 13, already has over 10 offers.
With under 10.5 to play in the first, Dawson dumps it off far side on the swing route. Pass is caught, and hopping out near the 34-yard line again, K.D. Wilson.
I believe that was Green Powers.
That was Eli Kelly right there.
Eli Kelly.
Yeah, the 2027, 5'10", 160 pounds, and he's already got a lot of top schools coming after him. He's got offers from SMU, Texas State, UTSA, Oregon State, Tulane, and more. But if he makes plays like that, more offers are headed his way.
Only a gain of a yard there for Wilson. Now it's going to be 2nd down and 9 here from the Legacy 35-yard line for Prosper Richland. Little jet action here. They hand it off going to Mekhi Harris around the end. Mekhi Harris sprung forward inside the 27-yard line. Mark him down there to bring up 3rd down and 1 with 9:35 and ticking down to play in the first.
Good pursuit out there to the perimeter, Carter, from Jaden Broomfield, the senior linebacker here for Legacy. That was a good tackle.
Also a nice run by Mekhi Harris from Prosper Richland. He was actually a defensive back for Prosper, but now at Prosper Richland has played majority wide receiver.
Under 9:20 to go opening quarter. Richland trailing by 6. They have a 3rd and 1 here from the Houston Legacy 27. They hand it off. It's going to be a 1st down and plunging forward down to the opposing 24-yard line. It's a 1st down picked up for Julian Thomas, who gets the rock again.
That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle by Kyron Petit-Matt, because if he doesn't grab that running back and bring him down, it's going to the house. I know they got a 1st down, but it could have been a touchdown.
And here, Prosper Richland, 8:55 to go, quarter one, a 1st and 10. 5 yards outside the red zone. They stretch it out, going to K.D. Wilson on the jet sweep. And K.D. Wilson is going to be dropped for a loss of a yard back to the 26.
Omari McNeil, the outside linebacker, 6 foot, 170 pounds. Great pursuit there from the linebacker, running like a defensive back.
How about these two offenses, guys, out of the gates? We're seeing a lot of early fireworks, and that's just a fun brand of football, especially on a Thursday night.
A Thursday night to open the penultimate week of the regular season here in 2025. Week 10, one more week, and then the postseason. But these two teams playing outlaw schedules. And Richland here on senior night. As trying to get out of trouble here is Keegan Dawson all the way back across the 35. He's cut down. They give him forward progress near that 33, maybe the 34-yard line, but Keegan Dawson was going nowhere.
Miscommunication, but number 12, Jaden Broomfield, has been all over the place tonight through this first drive.
They gave Dawson the forward progress. He tried to advance it up across the 35. They give him the 33, and now it's going to bring up 3rd down and 18. Under 7:40 to play in the first here for Prosper Richland.
Now Broomfield's out at slot cornerback after being a defensive end, number 12 at the bottom of your screen.
3rd down and forever. They need 18. Keegan Dawson fires near side. It's caught and hammered down immediately. K.D. Wilson nowhere to go after the catch.
With a PBU, Jaden Broomfield.
I'm going to call that more than a PBU. He absolutely obliterated that guy, dislodging the ball from his hands. It was going to be a catch, setting up a very interesting 4th down situation. I mean, I almost feel like you should go for it here, but what a play by Broomfield. He's made 3 tremendous plays, one saving a 1st down, a QB sack, and now dislodging that wide receiver from a huge gain.
K.D. Wilson could not hang on with the hit applied along the sideline. Now it's 4th and 18, and Kenneth Gilchrist here going to keep his offense on 4th and 18. It's Dawson. Dawson rolling right. Keegan Dawson stops, lofts it, end zone double coverage, and it sails along the sideline incomplete. Houston Legacy will take over at their own 33.
What a drive for Broomfield. He was in the action right there again, forcing the quarterback to get outside of the pocket and making him throw an errant throw out of bounds. They were looking for it all, just couldn't quite connect. But good drive by the Prosper Richland offense here out of the gates. They've proven that they can move the ball in this defense.
Well, also, this Houston Legacy defense, they don't have the best points per game numbers, but it's also because they've played teams like undefeated Port Arthur Memorial that Greg Tepp, our editor-in-chief, has upgraded to wagon status, and then also powerhouse like Franklin, who has multiple state championships. So they have played a daunting schedule.
As here comes Keyshawn Henderson and the Legacy offense starting 1st and 10 at their own 33. They pitch it out. Do the Titans going to Julian Shepard, and Shepard will make his way up near the 39-yard line, a gain of 6. First carry of the night for Julian Shepard. As he takes the pitch out there, Shepard on the year coming in, 56 carries, 284, 4 touchdowns on the ground. 2nd down and 3 from their own 40. They feed it back to Julian Shepard, who's blown up at the line of scrimmage. Really nowhere to go as soon as he got right behind his offensive line, and Prosper Richland read it all the way.
Parker Seru just crashed from the defensive end spot. They left him unblocked, trying to bet that he's not going to be able to get there across the formation, but he did. Parker with a high motor play.
And so it goes from a 2nd down and 3 from their own 40 to now a 3rd down and 3 from the 40-yard line from the same spot. As Keyshawn Henderson takes the snap on 3rd down and 3, zips it far side, passes high, passes caught for a 1st down up to the 48-yard line. And there to reel it in is Braden McNeil.
And right out of the gates, guys, I'm loving the way the ball is coming out of Keyshawn Henderson's hand. That was a big-time throw right there, a throw that you don't see even many college quarterbacks making now. He's made tremendous improvement from his first year playing here till now. I've always had him rated as an athlete. I think I've rethought that. I think I'm going to rate him as a QB.
Halfway home in the first, under 6 to play. Here's Keyshawn Henderson from the 48 on 1st and 10. Henderson unleashes downfield. It's caught inside the 10, and it's going to be a touchdown for Michael Brown again.
Downtown Michael Brown, have yourself a first quarter, young man. That is the 2nd straight touchdown pass on deep bombs from Keyshawn Henderson.
And Mike Brown is a tremendous route runner. He's proven it time over time. Anytime I've seen him in a camp setting, he's always roasting defensive backs, and he's consistent in the pads because he's roasting them here tonight as well, guys.
As Keyshawn Henderson on 2 deep bombs already in this first quarter to Michael Brown, flashing the arm strength that we knew he had. It's even more impressive to see for the first time in person, though.
It's an easy flick of the wrist, Gavin, but that ball just goes and goes.
And now they're going to line up to go for 2 here. They did not get their first attempt, incomplete. As here's Henderson on the second attempt. Keyshawn Henderson zips it, caught Braden McNeil. It's good, and it's 14-0. Legacy School of Sports Sciences here with 5:47 to play in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Keyshawn Henderson has been mighty impressive tonight. And Powers, it's interesting you bring up the athlete quarterback conversation around Henderson, because that's been a conversation about his play for his entire high school career, and he's been adamant that he's a quarterback, and he's had a hell of a mentor in Legacy School of Sports Sciences coach Michael Bishop, who was an All-American quarterback at Kansas State, and a guy who a lot of people told him as a young man, too, you should probably be an athlete. He didn't listen. He became an All-American, and now he's a mentor for Keyshawn.
One of the interesting notes about Keyshawn Henderson, and we've already seen him throw 2 touchdown passes, is he was the offensive MVP of the Navy All-American Bowl last year as a junior. It was the first time these All-American Bowls let underclassmen play in the event, and he was the MVP. That tells you the type of talent that he brings to the table. Not only can he do it against Texas high school football teams, when he got put on the national stage, he already passed a big test.
And so far through 2 drives against this Prosper Richland defense, Keyshawn Henderson and the Legacy School of Sports Sciences offense passing the test thus far. It's 14-0, 5:47 to play in the opening quarter. And Houston Legacy here will send it back in the direction of the Raiders. As the kick is sent into the night sky here in Prosper by Cade Butler, the linebacker. Prosper Richland on the return up across the 35-yard line, falling forward to the 37. On the return there, once again, is Donovan Ross.
Donovan Ross, a guy that Greg Powers has talked about in the booth, he loves. He's also a heck of a soccer player, too, so he's about to switch over to the pitch from the gridiron.
One of the reasons I was most interested in this game, guys, was because this gives us a chance to get our first eyes on Prosper Richland. And I would say out in front of some of the other media that may do this, we're getting a chance to look at some of these players who will be playing a UIL schedule next year. Jury's out on what classification and what district and all that kind of stuff it's going to be in. But this is a talented team, and they've got a lot of good players, guys that caught my eye.
UIL Snapshot Day is tomorrow, October 31st, Halloween. Potentially set to find out what division and classification Prosper Richland will fall in as they take a timeout here ahead of the first snap of drive number 2. Timeout called by Kenneth Gilchrist.
And I see on the sideline a lot of depth for Prosper Richland, and they only have 30 upperclassmen, because that's 18 juniors and 12 seniors that chose to go to Prosper Richland instead of getting grandfathered in at Prosper. But they've got a student section down here, a full drill team, a full band. And Gavin, I know you've toured the facilities. They're some of the nicest in the nation.
When I went and saw Prosper Richland, Carter, before the season started, it was about a week before they started school. They had started school that next Tuesday, I believe. One of the most impressive things I've ever seen, high school or otherwise. I was blown away.
How about that cafeteria? Sign me up. Davis Big Dog, you need to get in there and do some taste testing.
It was pretty impressive. And here with 5:41 to go in the opening quarter, Prosper Richland, after an impressive first drive that stalled out on 4th down and 18, pass fell incomplete to the sideline. They take over here down 14 from their own 36. New quarterback to start drive 2 will throw on a slant route. It's caught up across the 41-yard line as Brighton Jones will connect with a new receiver there for Prosper Richland, reeled in by E.J. Harris.
I think Prosper Richland needs a touchdown desperately on this drive. I know it's early in the game, and I know that the defense is going to make some adjustments, but right now, Keyshawn Henderson and that offense can score at will.
And Brighton Jones, just a sophomore. On tape, he looks like a guy who can pick defenses apart. He's got a bright future here at Prosper Richland.
Keeper here on the read option for Brighton Jones. Jones a first down, and he trucks his way out of bounds across the 50-yard line to the Houston Legacy 49. First down, Prosper Richland.
Showing some wheels, too, around the edge.
5'9", 170 pounds. He's pretty athletic, but I like his ability to basically shred defenses. He gets the ball out pretty quick. When he has a chance to throw it, you're going to see it.
Down to 5:06 to play in the first. 1st and 10 from the 49 of Houston Legacy, and a flag is thrown pre-snap, false start, called against Prosper Richland.
And those are those procedural penalties that Kenneth Gilchrist talked to us about, them trying to limit. They have done so in this 3-game winning streak, but they reared their ugly head there. I do think Kenneth Gilchrist is a very interesting story because he's kind of a rebuilder. He's a former head coach at Whitney, Caldwell, and Frisco Heritage, but this is the first time he's ever built a program from scratch.
We'll talk about that more as the broadcast goes on here with Kenneth Gilchrist's story, as this run play is blown up back to the 42-yard line. That's a loss of 4 now on what was already first down and 15. Now it's going to be second down and even longer.
I don't want to take a guess, but I think that was Broomfield again. I know I got my spotter right next to me, Carter, peeping it out to make sure, but, I mean, number 12, he's been all over the field.
Number 12 has been all over the field. I think that was Jameer Young. No, actually, I'm sorry, number 28, Cassius Phillips, who blew that play up.
Second down and 19, flushed. Screen pass is intercepted. Here goes the big man for a Houston Legacy pick 6. The other direction, taking it in, is Traynell Rivers, the sophomore.
Big man TD.
Traynell Rivers in the right place, right time, because the ball is fumbled on the snap. Quarterback just trying to get rid of it, panicking a little bit, and Traynell Rivers, man, get yourself a touchdown opportunity here on this October night.
And so Traynell Rivers' powers, they tried to set up the screen. He jumped right in front of that, and he showed some speed there on his way to the end zone.
Yeah, there's nothing but green grass in front of him. I can only imagine what his face looked like as he was trotting into the end zone. He was saying, "Feed me more."
I know it's Halloween here coming up tomorrow. It's been spooky season in the backfield tonight for Prosper Richland because this Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences defensive front is getting after it.
And not a team that you want to get behind early on because they can score points in bunches.
And they're going to opt to go for 2 here once again. 4:22 to go opening quarter. Keyshawn Henderson rolling right, design quarterback sweep. Keyshawn is cut down to the 1. No good is the attempt. They are now 1 for 3, and it remains 20-0.
Well, Keyshawn Henderson tonight came out in some pretty sick cleats, Greg Powers. A little bit of bedazzling going on down there, a little bit of diamonds on the shoes, it looked like, and Coach Michael Bishop said he's got to take those off after the first incompletion. He's not having to take them off yet.
I will say that he set him up for failure there, though, on the triple pass coming out of the gates, right, because he's completed his other 2 passes, but he set him up for a little bit of failure. I think Coach Bishop just might have wanted to see him in some different cleats.
And they have such a tight relationship, Powers. I think that's a big reason that Keyshawn Henderson committed to Houston because a lot of people have wondered, man, when's he going to flip once he starts getting more notoriety? But you see Houston's 7-1 now, and also Michael Bishop won a national championship at Blinn Junior College, coached by Willie Fritz, the current Houston coach.
Very interesting connections all around. You know, of course, Michael Bishop was in my childhood. He was one of the top players I can remember growing up. He played in the Big 12 championship game my senior year of high school, and he was the guy that really, I feel like, turned the Kansas State program around. He was the guy that put a face to it, and Kansas State became a big national brand at that time. But he's also the uncle of 5-star Jermaine Bishop at Willis, so interesting connections in the class of 2026 for Michael Bishop here at Legacy.
Legacy sends that one away, takes a hop inside the 30-yard line. Prosper Richland on the return. They get a good bounce, and it's up to the 40-yard line on the scoop. On the return there for the Raiders, Julian Thomas, the junior running back. And so here comes the Prosper Richland offense. They'll start just shy of their own 40-yard line near the 38, and they've got work to do here down 20.
And one of the guys I'm interested to see, and he'll get worked into the backfield at some point, they have a freshman running back here at Prosper Richland who really caught my eye, and I think he might be trotting out there now, number 9, Darwin Allen.
It will be Darwin Allen lining up at running back to the left here of Keegan Dawson on 1st and 10. They give it to, or it's rather it's a keeper, and firing incomplete. Flag is down as Keegan Dawson tried to force it into coverage there in the Houston Legacy secondary, and a flag is down near the opposing 46.
Allen reminds me a little bit of a young Javian Osborne at Forney. And Javian had offers, right out of the gate his freshman year, and people haven't really got a chance to see Darwin Allen. But anytime you're a freshman on varsity, I definitely take notice.
And with 4:12 to play in the first, it's going to be pass interference called against Houston Legacy. Will be a free first down picked up for Prosper Richland.
Second time they've gone past midfield tonight. So they're moving the ball.
Play fake. Dawson fires down the sideline. It's incomplete. A little too far on the go route intended for his receiver, Donovan Ross, who's been busy so far through this opening quarter. Donovan Ross powers a guy that we talked about. He has some speed in the return game. They try to hit him on the go route there. He was open, just a little bit overshot from Keegan Dawson.
His arms are so long that I thought that he had a better chance, that he made it look closer than it actually was. But that's the skill set that he brings to the table. He's a big, tall receiver, 6'4", 6'5" range. He can go up over the top and make plays. He's just got a tough battle tonight because he's going against D1 defensive backs every time he turns around.
Keeping it here on the read option is Keegan Dawson. Dawson pitch out last second, reeled in along the sideline and trying to hurdle a man.
Y button.
As he was out of bounds inside the 44-yard line there. Hitting the Y button, KD Wilson.
I do like how this Prosper Richland offense with all their motion puts defenders in conflict. So they have two mobile quarterbacks that can run out near the flats where basically the cornerback has to decide whether they want to play the quarterback run or play the swing pass, and either way you're wrong.
And now it's 3rd down and 6 for Prosper Richland. Man in motion, Dawson zips it near side. That's caught. Trying to turn it upfield and not going to get even close to the first down. Right back to the line of scrimmage and nothing else. There to reel it in for no gain, Mekhi Harris.
Yeah, and I got to think that they're going for it yet again here, 4th and 6, 4th and a long 5. They've shown the ability to move the rock, and they trail by 20 points. You got to try to find a way to get some points on the board this drive.
And this is Prosper Richland's last game of the season, right? Senior night. Leave it all out on the field.
As they come into this one 3 and 6, their last game of the year, it is senior night. And Carter's absolutely right here. They're going to try to leave it all on the field on 4th down and 6. Firing middle, it's caught, and it's a first down inside the 35. First down, Prosper Richland. And the gamble for Kenneth Gilchrist pays off as KD Wilson reels it in from Keegan Dawson for a first.
I really love the play design there, Carter. They snuck the wide receiver right under the 2 soft safeties, and he was wide open. Quarterback showed tremendous patience and got him the rock.
3:05 to play in the first. This play blown dead at the snap. And it looks like Houston Legacy was able to call a timeout prior to the 1st and 10 play from the 31.
KD Wilson also showed tremendous toughness because there's 2 defenders bearing down on him. You know as soon as you catch the ball, you're going to get hit pretty hard, and he hung on to it.
And so the timeout here is called by Houston Legacy. We've talked about Michael Bishop a little bit. Carter, we'll now let's talk a little bit about Kenneth Gilchrist, right? You mentioned that he's in his first season at Prosper Richland, building a program from scratch, not an easy thing to do. But he came from Frisco Heritage, where he was there for 7 years, a record of 28 and 43, and he chose to come build this program.
It's really a cool opportunity, he said, because his team and he get to order every piece of equipment. They get to put up every piece of branding in that new, nice, brand spanking new school building. He got to hire the entire coaching staff, and he said people thought that he'd be begging people to come to Prosper Richland. He said he had to turn down like 4 or 5 guys he really liked, but he had so many suitors to be on this coaching staff. Every defensive coach has former defensive coordinator experience.
Near side, pass is caught. It's Darwin Allen hitting the sideline, and he's slung down near the line to gain for a first. He won't get it, but it's a gain of 9 for Darwin Allen.
Just a freshman, y'all, showing tremendous toughness right there, dragging a defender downfield with him.
Pickup of 9 from Keegan Dawson on the swing pass to the left side to Darwin Allen. Now it's 2nd down and 1. 2nd down in the yard. Handoff. Darwin Allen has the first down inside the 20 to the 19 with the forward progress. They needed 1. They get 2 with the freshman Allen.
And doesn't go down there, Greg Powers. I feel like Darwin Allen is the guy we're going to be hearing about for quite some time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Anytime you start as a freshman, you start to get some reps underneath your belt, get that experience. He's going to gain confidence year over year, and I think that he's going to be the face of this Prosper Richland offense moving forward.
Prosper Richland in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 19. Handoff. Darwin Allen is corralled at the 16-yard line, a gain of 3 to bring up second down and medium.
I would just say running back is one of those positions on this team that they actually have built up some depth. Julius Thomas is an excellent running back as well. They have quite a few guys that are putting up some numbers. So they're all getting a chance to show what they have within this offense.
Second down and 7 here from the 16. As in motion, they send Julian Thomas. Handoff, Darwin Allen. Plunges forward across the 15 to the 14-yard line. A pickup of 2 or so. Maybe just a yard and a half. It'll bring up third down and a short 5.
Keyshawn Alexander, number 24, slammed him to the turf on that one. He's also been active in this first quarter. Less than a minute 30 now left in the first quarter. And Prosper Richland desperately needs to get on the board here to get some momentum back.
In a game that sits at 20 zip, this is probably going to be 4-down territory if they don't pick it up here on 3rd and 5. As rolling is Keegan Dawson. Dawson fires, end zone, jump ball is caught but out of bounds.
He went for the big man in the corner of the end zone or towards the sideline there in the end zone, but he did have a wide receiver that looked like he was coming open for an opportunity to pick up the first down. Dawson decided to go for it all and didn't convert, setting up a 4th down situation here.
Incomplete, intended for Donovan Ross, who was out of bounds when he made that leaping catch over the defender. And so here it brings up 4th down and a long 5 from the 15-yard line, and Prosper Richland going to go for it, and why not? Dawson against the blitz. Again. Fires, incomplete inside the 10. And I don't see any flags down as Houston Legacy came off that left side on the blitz. Clean play and a turnover on downs.
They didn't convert, guys, but I love the play concepts that this offense is actually pulling together. Both the 3rd down play and the 4th down play, those were the right calls. There were opportunities there. Execution, it wasn't exactly what you wanted to be, but you can tell that this is already a well-coached team. They know what they're doing, and it's a pretty complicated offense for a team just playing its first year of ball.
You can see the vision, right, Powers? You can
no
see,
doubt.
Okay, next year when they're in the UIL schedule, maybe a year after that when they don't have half their seniors and juniors, this could be a special program.
And here with 1:03 to go in the first, Houston Legacy will start 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Man in motion, play fake, Henderson near side, caught across the 20 and hopping out near the 23 with a gain of about 8. There goes Braden McNeil. McNeil out of bounds at the 22. It's a gain of about 7. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 3 here for the Titans. Clock is stopped with 58 seconds to play in the first. As Keyshawn Henderson hands it off here, stretching to the near side and slung down across the line to gain for a 1st down. It is picked up nonetheless by Julian Shepard.
Tough run right there by Shepard, able to shift his shoulders, pick up some yardage. I like that running style. Those guys are hard to tackle when they're moving like that.
Was a nice tackle, though, from Michael Dennis, who was the defensive MVP last week. Michael Dennis, the menace, with his first tackle of the night.
1st and 10 here for Houston Legacy from their own 26. Keyshawn Henderson has all day. Now he's going to try to tuck and run. Woo! Here goes Keyshawn Henderson getting a block. Cuts it, and he's down to the 43 with a 1st down and plenty more. Keyshawn Henderson signals 1st down. He's got it.
Carter, it looked like he picked up 10 yards in about 3 steps there.
Yeah, he's a strider, which sometimes when you got a strider, you don't realize how fast they're moving, but he's the rare guy who is a strider who you also is like, oh, man, he is moving out there.
I don't know. I feel a little Jaden Daniels when I watch his game.
I think that's a good comp.
1st and 10 here from their own 42. Henderson pumps, fires high, but caught on the screen. That's blown up to the 40. Reeled in by Julian Shepard, who had nowhere to go, a loss of 2.
Braylon Palmer Robinson read that one like a Percy Jackson book. I mean, he was right there on the midline screen to bring the running back down. That play had no chance.
And that will end the first quarter here.
Pretty good job there by Keyshawn, too. You know, it's not basketball, so he couldn't get called for the traveling there with a little bit of the double hop. But if he would have thrown it on the first hop, I think it would have been a pick.
And that does end our opening quarter here at Children's Health Stadium, home of Prosper ISD football. and it's 20-0 Houston Legacy through 12 minutes here in the DCTX Rising Game of the Week. We're back after this.
Uh-oh. You good?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, if your back hurts, you should be able to get the care you need. So you can get in, get out, and get back out there. Like, fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
It's not complicated. Scheduling's easy on the MyBSW Health app.
Back here to open up quarter number 2 here in the DCTX Rising Game of the Week. Second down and 12 for Houston Legacy, backed up to their own 40. Keyshawn Henderson fires far side. It's caught across midfield. And the opposing 49 reeling it in is Michael Brown, the future Texas A&M Aggie.
That cornerback was on Michael Brown like white on rice. So for Keyshawn to fit that throw into the tightest of windows was impressive. And also Mike Brown to make that catch, mighty impressive.
And it sets up here just a third down and 1 for the Titans from the plus 49. Play blown dead at the snap. Flag is down as they try to hand it off to Julian Shepard. And a discussion here on the penalty marker. And the call in coming from our white hat, Thomas Poore, our head referee.
I think now would be a good time to talk to our viewers about what exactly Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, is. It's actually a really interesting program, talking to Michael Bishop, the head coach. Basically, students can specialize in sports media, sports marketing, coaching, or just the overall sports industry. So the atmosphere is more like a college atmosphere where more independence, it means more responsibility, right? It's really on you to turn in your work on time, and that independence is also counterbalanced by the fact that you got to maintain an 80 average to play sports, where the regular UIL is 70. So state-funded charter school, right around under 600 kids on campus. Pretty cool program they got going on there in H-Town.
That it is, right out of the north side of Houston Spring area. And here they face a third down and 6 as Henderson fires middle. It's dropped off the hands of Timmy Timmerman, who had his legs taken out from underneath him at the 40. Timmerman couldn't reel it in. Now it's fourth down.
Another interesting thing, Carter, about Houston Legacy is that they allow 8th graders to participate in varsity competition. And they do have one 8th grader on this team in Kyrique Lawrence, 5'8", 215-pounder, wearing number 31, listed as a running back linebacker. Be interested to see if he gets his name called tonight, and if the 8th grader is somebody that a name that we need to know, because a lot of their top guys have played here as an 8th grade.
Class of 2030.
Fourth down and 6. Henderson, middle, low, and that should be a catch to the 35. It is reeled in for a first down by Michael Brown.
Man, I wish I had Mike Brown on my fantasy team this week, guys, because he's putting up monster numbers. I feel he would have already cashed me in 25 points.
And how about the job tonight from the offensive line, too? Michael Bishop said to expect more slide protection from this group tonight. We got the left tackle, Mylan Colley, 6'4", 270. He's got offers to Arizona State, Texas State, and UTSA.
First and 10 from the 35. Henderson's got all day. He lofts it downfield. It's incomplete. And a tug of the jersey against Braden McNeil from the back.
That was a pretty pass. The defensive back had to hold on to him, and I think it was a good DPI. I would take that all day rather than a touchdown. Good job by the DB there. You don't like to see the flags come out. I think most of the time people think that's a negative thing, but here it was all positive.
Yeah, I could see that DPI from the upper deck here, and I didn't even need my binoculars on that. I could see that white jersey stretched out. Also, an important thing to note about this Houston Legacy offensive line is they have a new center tonight. Ryan Garcia, he's been playing right guard most of the season, but the center is hurt, and the snaps have been crisp tonight. I've not noticed at all that they had a new center, and I say that with all compliments, because sometimes when you get a new center, you're like, oh, that's a new center because the snaps aren't good.
That they have. The offense has been good all around for Houston Legacy, and now they've got a first and 10 from the edge of the red zone. Henderson from the 20. Far side, incomplete, a little bit low. Thrown out in front of Damaris Richardson.
Did you see that blitz pickup by the running back? I'm trying to get the name number 7, Julian Shepard, putting his body on the line to protect his QB because that blitzer was coming scot-free up the middle.
And that was our first chance really to get a look at wide receiver Damaris Richardson Jr., who I think is their leading guy coming into this game.
Coming into the game, probably not now because Michael Brown has about 120 yards.
Pistol set on 2nd and 10. Handoff Julian Shepard. Look at Julian Shepard, who's leveled inside the 10 to the 6, and he's got a 1st and goal for Houston Legacy.
Here it is, guys.
If you block, you get the rock. We've been saying it all season. It's proven true. He just put his body on the line, blocking. Now he gets the ball.
And follows it up with a tremendous run, his best run of the game so far.
And it sets up the Legacy Titans here with a 1st and goal from the 6. Rolling is Keyshawn Henderson. Henderson will take a couple defenders with him, in for the touchdown for 6 yards.
2 by air, 1 by ground. That's 3 touchdowns for Keyshawn Henderson here in the early going. What a star we're getting to watch tonight, fellas.
First rushing touchdown of the night for the future Houston Cougar. Takes that one in from 6 yards, and now they're going to try to make this 28-0. They will go for 2 once again.
I like how Michael Bishop just refuses to kick, ever.
It's kind of awesome, right? And here they're going to go for it again for the 4th time. So far, they're 1 for 3. Keyshawn Henderson lofts it. Fade route is caught! What a catch that was for Braden McNeil for 2.
He may have had some good throws so far in this game, and I'm telling you, that one was pinpoint. That was his best throw of the night. He put it where only his wide receiver could get it. I know it was just a 2-point conversion, but he's going to have plenty of red zone situations when he's playing for the Houston Cougars and Willie Fritz. And if he can pass the rock like that, I think he's a guy who can come out of the gates and play as a freshman.
Connor Wegman doing big things there in Houston right now. The Cougars are 7-1, one of the surprise teams in the state of Texas, and that momentum on the field is paralleled by the momentum off the field in the recruiting trail.
Well, the one thing that I've loved about Keyshawn Henderson's recruitment story, his commitment to Houston, is that he's been asked countless times, right? Because this is the highest rated Houston commit ever. Ed Oliver was the number 2 player in the state. Keyshawn Henderson is the number 1 player in the state. So, of course, reporters are always going to ask, are you locked in with UH? Because it's not the school that the normal number 1 guy goes to, at least if you look throughout the annals of all history of Texas high school football recruiting. It's an uncommon occurrence. But he's doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on his pledge to Houston. And not only that, he is the recruiting leader on and off the field. People want to play with Keyshawn Henderson, and it's helped boost their class.
Key to the city.
Key to the city.
10:20 to go in this first half, and Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, leads 28-0 here over hosting Prosper Richland, who is set to field the kickoff. Will be sent back inside the 20 on a hop. Scooped up, trying to make something out of nothing here on the return and cut down to the 18-yard line. Really nowhere to go on the return for Mekhi Harris. Brings back out the Prosper Richland offense. We'll get another look at them, and now they trail by 4 possessions.
And we're really going to find out about the culture that this young Prosper Richland team has built in their first season of action, because down 28 very early in the second quarter, it'd be very easy to roll over here, and I do not expect this team to, because they are setting the standard with their play for seasons to come. This senior class is going to have an impact on this school long after they graduate.
Leading the offense out here for his second drive is Brighton Jones, the quarterback. Jones, middle, incomplete, thrown a little bit too far out in front of Donovan Ross, right off the hand that went of the corner right behind him. Pass just falls incomplete to bring up 2nd down and 10 for Prosper Richland.
And they've moved the ball all night. Twice they've been in opponent territory, gone for about 4 fourth downs already. So moving the ball is not the issue. It's just kind of getting in their own way. Drop snap, pick 6, some false starts.
10-11 to go in the first half. Keeper here for Brighton Jones, who is brought down to the 20. It's a pickup of 2. And 3rd down and 8 looming here for the Raiders.
Looked like number 9, Jaden Gray. First time we've called his name the Will linebacker tonight. been a big part of their defense all season. You've seen them get a lot better as the year goes on. You mentioned they played such powerhouse offenses like Franklin, Port Arthur Memorial.
3rd down and 8. Dropping is Brighton Jones. He dumps it off. It's caught on the halfback screen. It's a first down the sideline and out of bounds near the 40. Brought down for picking up a first down and plenty more. Julian Thomas to the 39-yard line.
Another good play call there by the Prosper Richland coaching staff. Very aggressive Houston Legacy defense. They can take advantage of that in the screen game, and they did exactly what they needed to do to pick up the first down and move the chains, giving them new life here on this drive.
So they dial up the halfback screen on 3rd down and long all the way to the 39-yard line. Just shy of their own 40 went Julian Thomas for a first. Here the ball's on the ground, and thankfully for Prosper Richland, able to fall back on top of it to the 34 is the quarterback Brighton Jones. Little bobble on the exchange, and the ball hit the turf.
That's what we're talking about, those self-inflicted wounds. Now it's about 2nd and 15 and much harder to get a first down when you're behind the sticks like this.
It's a loss of 5 on the essentially bobbled handoff on the jet action, and now it's going to be 2nd down and 15 with 8:52 and counting to play in quarter 2. As here in the slot, they will swap K.D. Wilson and Mekhi Harris. 2nd down and 15. Rolling is Brighton Jones. He fires downfield. It's caught along the sideline. First down, Prosper Richland into Titan territory. A little dance after the first down for Mekhi Harris.
Mekhi Harris, one of those senior leaders we've been talking about. Again, played defensive back for Prosper. Now a wide receiver. Looks like he's at home on the offensive side. Just a special athlete. Also a special leader in this locker room.
12 receptions, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns coming into this contest.
And that one from Mekhi Harris all the way down to the 40-yard line of the Titans. They try to reward him here with a jet sweep. Mekhi Harris will bounce out near the 37, maybe the 36 for a gain of 3 or 4.
It's a nice block, too, by K.D. Wilson. Because if he tries to pancake that cornerback, it's probably a flag for an illegal blindside block, but it's more of a screen that he uses just as effective, and you don't get the penalty. K.D. Wilson, the name we've called a bunch tonight.
That we have there. He set the edge for Mekhi Harris, and now it's going to be 2nd down and 6 here from the 36-yard line. In plus territory are the Richland Raiders. Dropping is Jones. Rolling right is Jones. He fires. It's caught. Reeled in down to the 25. And good enough for a first down and then some goes Donovan Ross.
Ross is the leading receiver for this Prosper Richland team coming into this contest. 499 yards on 27 receptions, averaging 18.5 yards per catch with 5 tutties, fellas.
As they motion Mekhi Harris, stoppage in play pre-snap, or maybe right before. And the timeout is called by Michael Bishop. Second charge timeout assessed against Houston Legacy with 8:03 to go in this second quarter.
Just amazing. This is the 4th Prosper ISD school, Greg Powers. I remember when Prosper High School, the Eagles, were a 3A team playing against Waco La Vega in the state championship.
And I watched Prosper play last week against Allen. They suffered a 1-point loss in that game, and it was a total battle between those 2 top-tier 6A programs and one of the toughest districts in the state. That was for the district championship. It looks like Allen's going to pick up the district crown this year. And Plano and Plano West in that district also playing very well this year. Their emergence has changed the face of the 6A playoffs, because now that one of those 2 teams will go to the playoffs, maybe both, Prosper is now going to be 6A Division II. And I think that they have all the tools they need to potentially win that game, win that tournament.
And it was a 1-point loss in that game for Prosper on a missed field goal at the end of the game. You know how well those teams both played in that game, Powers? Neither one of them dropped. Allen stayed at 2, of course, with the win. Prosper lost the game, stayed at 7.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why to drop Prosper. I'm absolutely hopeful for a Prosper South Lake Carroll game in the playoffs.
Diving forward here to the 24, it's only going to be a gain of a yard picked up for Brighton Jones on the quarterback keeper to bring up 2nd down and 9. As that game, of course, was played here at Prosper ISD, one of the nicest facilities in the state of Texas.
And a week before that game, I watched Prosper Walnut Grove overcome a 38-17 deficit in the second half to defeat Anna. And this place was rocking.
Jones middle pass is caught by Donovan Ross on the slant. First down, picked up by Ross to the 13.
And Ross is rocking tonight, too. He's been all over the field. Super impressed with the tall wide receiver.
Those are the routes I want to see him run. He seems to know how to use his body extremely well to shield defenders from the ball. And right there, that was the old Michael Irvin from Troy Aikman play. Get him on the slant, let him use his body, thread the needle, and you have a first down.
7:10 to play in the first half. Keeper for Brighton, Jones. Jones makes a cut. Woo-hoo-hoo! Jones is in for the Prosper Richland touchdown. Their first of the night, 13 yards.
Powers, you said it best earlier. Brighton Jones, what a bright future. I saw it there on that juke move. He made him miss in a phone booth.
And there are a lot of seniors on this team that did come over from Prosper. They're getting their chance to play this year, but you are also getting a chance to look at the future of what Prosper Richland is going to be. Brighton Jones and Darwin Allen, these are the guys that everybody in Prosper, they're going to know their names. They're going to be the kings of the hallway.
Then after the 13-yard touchdown run for Brighton Jones, his offense will go for 2. Fires, fade route, Donovan Ross makes the catch, and the 2-point try is good.
Ross with the moss, going up and high pointing it, getting the cookie from the cookie jar on the top shelf.
And this is his opportunity to prove that he has a chance to play at the next level, right? Putting that tape together against guys who already have D1 futures on Houston Legacy. Hey, that's going at the beginning of my highlight reel.
Fired it right up there for Donovan Ross. Probably his tallest receiver, who just leaped up and made that catch for the 2-point conversion attempt, and it was good after a 13-yard touchdown run for Brighton Jones. And guys, Prosper Richland has cut this back down to a 20-point deficit, and they're showing signs of life and a lot of promise on offense like we've talked about.
Yeah, a lot of promise on offense. Now it's about the defense just getting a stop, and they knew it was going to be a tall task tonight trying to stop this Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, and Keyshawn Henderson, the quarterback, who makes sport look like an art and not a science out there. He is special, so they need this offense to keep stacking together drives. They need the defense to get a stop.
7:05 to play in the first half here. And Prosper Richland set to kick it away, and it looks like it could be an onside kick here.
Watch them try to pooch it to an outside guy.
Donovan Ross instead kicks it deep. It will hop inside the 20, scooped up, not yet by Houston Legacy, and cut down back inside the 20. That one stayed right at the feet of the return man, and it allowed Prosper Richland to get down there in a hurry.
Yeah, number 34, Cole Fox, the junior defensive back, got down there in a hurry, making an impact on special teams. The third phase of the game, oftentimes the most important.
And you can start to feel a little bit of the momentum start to shift. You can look down on the sidelines right now and see that Prosper Richland is starting to believe that they have what it takes to hang in this game. So that's a danger area for Houston Legacy. They don't want to take their foot off the gas and let these guys get back in it. If you're Michael Bishop, you're looking for more points on this drive.
Well, part of this, too, is that Houston Legacy has very few bodies out there. I guess they have almost like 25 guys or something like that.
Yeah, I was counting right around 22, 23 on the quick count, and right around 50 bodies for Prosper Richland.
Yeah, Richland has a lot more reserves.
And there, a little jet sweep to Damaris Richardson, who picks up the first down on a gain of about 13 to the 30-yard line. First down, Houston Legacy, right on their first play of the new drive.
And Legacy's a school that's been starting to produce a lot of good talent. They sent Joseph Smith to Arizona State in last class. They sent Joshua Moses to Texas A&M. And then if you're wanting to really go back, Mike Brown's brother, Reggie Brown, signed with Tulane out of Legacy. So they've had guys that have come out here and had a lot of success.
Motion Richardson. Fake it to him is Keyshawn Henderson, and Henderson is cut down back to the 27-yard line. Prosper Richland all over the future Coug.
How about that? You get to sack the number one player in the state. What a moment for the Prosper Richland defender right there. Couldn't tell if that was number 80 or number 20. It looked like number 80 on the sack.
Yeah, number 80 right there. Nathan Bloom, the sophomore defensive lineman. So that's a name we'll be hearing quite often in the coming years.
It's a loss of 2. Make it now 2nd down and 12 with 6:15 to go in the half. Henderson, far side, incomplete, nearly picked as jumping the route was the corner. They're nearly coming up with the INT was Kaiser Jones.
And now you're starting to see that energy coming behind a touchdown, right? They're starting to believe that they can slow these guys down now, even on the defensive side of the ball. If I'm Gilchrist, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want my kids to quit. I want them to fight hard to the finish and set the table for what we're going to do next season.
Kaiser Jones was named the team's overall MVP in the last game. He is a special football player, but Coach Gilchrist said, better young man, one of the hardest working players he's ever been around. And he's had tight coverage now multiple times at the top of your screen on the wide side of the field.
3rd and 12 here from the 28. Keyshawn Henderson has a time. Now he's going to pump. He's going to try to tuck and run. Keyshawn lost the football, and Prosper Richland has it at the 35.
What a play from the Prosper Richland defense. Julian Thomas with the heads-up fumble recovery, and you can feel the energy on this side of the field. The student section's going wild. Prosper Richland number 80, Bloom, who we just mentioned, is pumping the guys up. I'm trying to see who forced this fumble. It looked like that was number 28, Tyrese O'Neal, the senior linebacker, making a huge play on senior night.
How about Julian Thomas, running back, sniffer back, playing defense? This guy's a Mr. Do-It-All for this Prosper Richland squad.
And here the Raiders start from the plus 34. It's a keeper for Brighton Jones, who's got a touchdown run in this one already. Here he's brought down with a shoestring tackle to the 22 for a first down.
Yeah, he was one step away from scoring his second rushing touchdown on the night. This guy's got a little go juice.
Yeah, he can hit that next gear. He can hit the nitrous.
Up tempo here to the 21-yard line for Prosper Richland. Knocking on the door of the red zone, they get up to the line in a hurry. Handoff here up the gut and down inside the 15-yard line, still moving inside the 13 on the carry, McCoy Stewart.
See how they're fighting now, fighting for every yard?
Yeah, and this offensive line is starting to wear on this Houston Legacy defensive line. I'm looking at Spencer Matthews, the center, Connor Duncan, the right guard, making big impacts.
5.5 minutes. Keeper here for Brighton Jones. Jones spun down to the 10, and he's got a first down picked up for Prosper Richland to bring up 1st and goal for the Raiders. Under 5:20 to go in this first half. The Raiders of Prosper Richland starting to make a little noise. And here trying to get back into the end zone for the second time.
They were flip-flopping quarterbacks early in the first quarter. I think they're settling on Brighton Jones now. He's got the hot hand and the hot wheels.
On 1st and goal from the 10, ahead of that 1st and goal snap. Timeout, Michael Bishop, his final of the first half. And so Prosper Richland here, guys, they're going to try to get back into the end zone. And if they can do so, they can cut this down potentially to a 2-score game. Things get a little interesting here.
Still 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the second quarter. We have had a lot of offensive snaps so far tonight, Gavin. A lot of big plays, a lot of big playmakers. This game, 28-7, or 28-8, it's been in Legacy's complete control, but it's been fun.
Well, and if it goes to 28-14 or 28-16 here now, if Prosper Richland can punch it in, got a whole new ball game, and it's not all in Legacy's control. But Prosper Richland has to take care of their business first.
Prosper Richland will receive the opening kick in the second half, something interesting to note, because as this game goes along, I think the depth for Prosper Richland is definitely going to be in their favor.
1st and goal from the 10, handoff, McCoy Stewart going nowhere, brought down for a loss of a yard, maybe 2, back near the 12. And so McCoy Stewart that time nowhere to run, brings up 2nd and goal from the 12-yard line.
Good tackle there by defensive end Jameer Young, number 23, coming in to make sure that he brought the running back straight to the turf.
4:40 to go here in this first half. Now it's 2nd and goal from just inside the 12. Rolling is Brighton Jones. Jones will try to tuck and run. He's brought down for a loss of another yard, back to the 13. And the Legacy Titans all over him.
Looked like there's an offside call here. Houston Legacy's defensive ends have done this multiple times tonight. They're just getting quick jumps, and sometimes they time it perfectly, and sometimes they're too early.
I have to say, I mean, it's going to be a do-over. a flag on the play no matter who it's on, but Eli Kelly was all over his wide receiver. That's the reason why Brighton Jones didn't have anywhere where to throw the rock, is because Eli Kelly was draped on the receiver.
I've been really impressed with Kelly tonight.
Yeah, he's a dude, man.
5-yard penalty, wipes out a loss of 1. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 6. We'll replay 2nd down. Brighton Jones fires, caught, and diving forward somewhere inside the 6 on the reception, Nicoy Stewart once again.
And that was Naheem Richardson, number 22, another defensive back in the secondary. He was the next-level athlete, top 100 showcase MVP in Houston. 6'1", 170, 175 pounds. He's one of the top uncommitted stars, I feel like, in Texas right now. He can play any position in the secondary, and if you're looking for a guy to come on and get late, check out Legacy's Naheem Richardson.
3rd and goal from the 6, by himself at the bottom of the screen. 1-on-1 is Donovan Ross. Jones fires for Ross. Juggled, is that caught? Yes, it is. It's Donovan Ross. What a catch.
Donovan Ross, are you kidding me? One of the catches of the year that we've seen on the DCTX Rising Game of the Week. He's opening my eyes tonight from the booth.
Yeah, and Richardson was draped all over him with tough coverage. He looked that ball all the way in. He almost kind of tipped it to himself, but was able to hold on to it with one big left hand right there to score the touchdown. Donovan Ross is having a little bit of a coming out party tonight, guys.
Donovan Ross reeled that one in somehow for the touchdown. Now it's 28-14, and Prosper Richland will line up for the PAT, trying to cut this down to a 13-point deficit. As the Raiders do have a guy coming on late in the protection unit. Delay of game.
Spent too much time celebrating, lost their minds after that catch. I probably would have too, honestly.
I noted before the snap, guys, that Donovan Ross was by himself at the bottom of the screen. Jones, as soon as he took that snap, turned and looked right at him and fired it up, and there was really not much the corner there could have done.
Yeah, what do you even say if you're a defensive coach on the sideline?
The delay of game penalty will back him up 5 yards on the point after try. As trying to make it a 13-point game, Gavin Villarreal does so. As there is a flag down inside the 5-yard line, it doesn't appear that it's going to matter here, at least in terms of making the extra point, so it will be 28-15. And the Houston Legacy lead here on the road in Week 10 trimmed to 13 points.
Good news for us, guys. This is going to be a high-scoring game, and we're going to be able to watch plenty of Keyshawn Henderson because now he has to answer the answer. And Brighton Jones and Donovan Ross. How about two guys coming from basically out of nowhere? You've probably never heard their names before. There's not been a lot of coverage for Prosper Richland. That's going to change soon. Darwin Allen, another guy to know.
And, guys, one of the focuses we've had this week, Dave Campbell's, is that tomorrow's snapshot day, right? So we're going to find out the enrollment. We've mentioned it once or twice on the broadcast already. We'll find out the enrollment, teams dropping, teams moving up in classification perhaps. Prosper Richland, we're going to find out potentially tomorrow, in all likelihood, where they're going to be in the next realignment cycle in terms of, if they're going to play maybe 5A football, maybe 4A, who knows, right? We don't have the official number yet, but it's going to be interesting to see because, like we've mentioned, they've got a lot of depth on this home sideline.
And the caveat to that, too, Gavin, is we're not going to know the numbers right away on what the cutoffs are going to be, whether they're going to be 5A D1, 5A D2, or maybe even 4A D1 for Prosper Richland. But it looks like that they have plenty of guys on the sidelines. I think that's a good indication. They have a huge high school. And Prosper is a growing city. So I expect this team to be competing at the 5A level sooner than later. That's the type of talent that they're going to have here.
And I don't want to get too far over my skis, but I talked to Greg Tepper about this, our editor-in-chief, and he said when you see the magic happen with schools is when they kind of get caught in between realignments. So the snapshot for Prosper Richland is going to have a not full senior class because those kids can get grandfathered into Prosper. But then the next year, because realignment's in 2-year cycles, they're going to have a full school. And then they might even be a little bigger than the classification they're playing in. You're seeing that with Walnut Grove right now, who a lot of people think are going to move up a couple classifications from 5A D2. And I saw them firsthand. They had so much depth on their side of the field because they pulled from Prosper and Rock Hill.
After the kick went out of bounds, Henderson fires far side from the 30. Pass caught on the screen and slung out near the 32 goes Michael Brown.
They had some absurd number on their JV squads at Prosper Walnut Grove, too, if I'm not mistaken, Carter. They had a ton of guys that come out for the JV team. This is just a huge team, and jumping from 5A D2 to 6A, I don't know if that's been done before. I'm sure it has, but it seems like, I guess I want to say, I don't want to use the word unprecedented, but it's the only word that comes to mind.
Yeah, I believe they had 60 on their freshman team alone.
Wow.
Second down and 8 here for Houston Legacy. Dropping is Henderson. Henderson flushed from behind, fires, it's caught, spinning forward across the line to gain at the 40 for a first down. Picking it up, Braden McNeil.
Wow, this kid's really been coached up well by Michael Bishop at Legacy. I love the way he reset his shoulders there to be able to make that throw be accurate while he was on the move. Small nuance to his game, but it's a well-coached nuance.
And the awareness from Braden McNeil to make that catch and dive just right across the 40. Kind of knew where he needed to go, got just enough for the first down. And now it's a 1st and 10 here from their own 40 for the Titans. Henderson, middle, it's picked off, receiver fell down. There's a flag. For the moment, it's an interception for Prosper Richland.
And that's an unfortunate flag to me right there. It looked like it could have been. And, of course, caveat here is I can't see the backside arm, right? Don't know. It looked like it was coincidental contact right there, right? Both those guys fell down, but it looks like it's going to be a DPI.
But Cole Fox will remember that interception because that was a nice play on the ball.
They're at least going to discuss it here near where the flag was kind of thrown and where the action happened, where the receiver got tangled up and fell down. And right behind that, Cole Fox made the INT, but it will be pass interference here against the Raider defense.
And it's interesting to note it came from the field judge who was trailing the play on the far side, so he had a different look at it than what we had here in the box from our perspective.
It'll be a free first down picked up via penalty for Houston Legacy to the opposing 45. 3:24 to go here in this first half, and a 28-15 Titan lead. 5 wide by himself is Keyshawn Henderson. Near side, caught to the 43. And it's a gain of a couple there, reeled in by Richardson. Damaris Richardson, another catch. That one a gain of a few.
Jeremy Sharp, the linebacker, number 32, read that play very well, was on that in a hurry.
It was a good route, good completion, but 32 closed that distance quick.
Second down and 7. Henderson near side, reeled in at the 40-yard line. Another quick gain of 3, and again, it is Damaris Richardson.
I can hear Keyshawn Henderson's passes whizzing from up in the broadcast booth. The spiral is tight.
He got that ball out quick, and Mike Brown came open late. I bet he wishes he had a do-over right there. I think it would have been another 6.
Timeout here is called by Kenneth Gilchrist on the Prosper Richland sideline. He will have one timeout left in his back pocket, 2:52 to play in the first half. Again, Michael Bishop on that visiting sideline. He's out of timeouts. But his Titans on the move. Now they face a 3rd down and 5 here from the plus 40. And with the way they've been playing, I don't think punting is really in the conversation at all tonight should they not pick up this 3rd down and 5.
I think you're right about that, Gavin. I don't think that they're punting the ball at all. I don't even know if we'll see the punter come out no matter how long it is.
Such a vital down for Prosper Richland's defense. 2:52 remaining in the half. They get the ball to start the second half, so do not want Houston Legacy to go up here and get a 30 spot on them.
2:52 to go in the first half. 3rd down and 5 for Legacy from the Prosper Richland 40-yard line. 2 receivers stacked out to either side of Keyshawn Henderson. On 3rd and 5, they hand it off Julian Shepard. Spinning forward, Julian Shepard made it to the 36. That's not enough. It's going to be 3rd or 4th down in a couple here, maybe 4th and about 1.5.
25 met him right at the sticks, guys. I mean, that was a great tackle. Put his foot in the ground and said, "You're not getting one more yard on me."
Raymond Nyatoti with an awesome play.
4th down and a short 2. Play is blown dead at the snap, and it's a false start called against Houston Legacy. And that's going to fire up this home crowd on senior night for Prosper Richland, and it's going to be 4th down and about 7 here.
It's going to be 4th and 7, but interesting on that last play, Keyshawn Henderson handed the ball off and then pushed the running back to give him a little bit of an extra burst into the hole to try to pick up that first down.
And you know what? It actually worked because I noticed he went faster.
He did. That's why I noticed it too. As soon as he put his hands on him, he gave him a little burst.
And so the play call, or at least the decision, does not change here for Coach Bishop. It's going to be 4th down and 7, 2:08 to go. The clock is running here towards the 2-minute warning. From the 42-yard line, it's 4th and 7. They will snap ahead of the 2-minute timeout. Flag down,
and
false start again.
False start. This Prosper Richland crowd is going nuts.
And it goes now from a 4th and 2 to a 4th and 7 to a 4th and about 12.
And now you're almost at midfield. So if you don't convert this, Prosper Richland gets the ball back with more than enough time to go down and score.
And that last second before the 2-minute timeout will run off. Down to 2 minutes we go here officially in this first half. And if nothing else, and it's been a lot of things, this has been fun. And here for Houston Legacy, it'll be 4th down and 12. They're likely still going to go for it here. We said we don't imagine they wouldn't, regardless of the 2 false start penalties. But interesting here that Prosper Richland could get the ball back, like Carter said, near midfield.
I didn't even see them thinking about punting.
Right.
There was no thought. There was no personnel moving around on the sidelines. It was full go on offense here.
To be honest, if I had the number 1 overall player in the state at quarterback, I probably wouldn't punt either.
No, I mean, I think Keyshawn Henderson is a touchdown waiting to happen. I want to put the ball in his hands. And guess what, Carter, Gavin, I want to watch it.
Henderson so far tonight has been as advertised. He's thrown 2, both to Michael Brown on deep shots. He also ran one in himself. Paired somewhere in there with a pick 6 earlier by Traynell Rivers, the big man, 6'2", 230, the sophomore defensive lineman. And so coming out of the 2-minute stoppage, of course the decision does not change for Michael Bishop. 4th down and 12 from the plus 47. They're going to go for it here with Henderson and crew. 4th and 12. Henderson straight drop. Now he steps up. Keyshawn fires. Incomplete off the hands of Timmerman. Turnover on downs. And Prosper Richland takes over just shy of midfield.
Tremendous play there by defensive back Cole Fox coming in to get a hand on it to disrupt that throwing lane that Keyshawn Henderson had. Prosper Richland getting a chance with a minute 53 to put more points on the board before they get the ball back after the halftime break.
And how about Cole Fox? He made a tremendous play on kickoff coverage and then had the interception that was wiped out by pass interference and then makes the play to force the turnover on downs. But, and that was a rope from Keyshawn Henderson. The way he moved up in the pocket, I know we're talking about Keyshawn Henderson a lot, guys, but that was a pretty impressive play at quarterback.
Yeah, he's just a dude, right? Like, he's a football playing dude. He's a guy that could also flip over and play safety if they needed him to. He's done that a lot on the 7-on-7 circuit.
Downfield there on the 1st and 10 pass attempt went Brighton Jones, intended for Donovan Ross, who got a little turned around. The pass sailed incomplete to the near sideline. Bring up 2nd and 10 down to a minute 49.
Henderson would have to do a lot of convincing, I feel like, to Michael Bishop to be able to let him play safety now, though. There's no way I'm letting Keyshawn Henderson get hurt making a tackle.
2nd and 10 here from their own 47. Handoff near side. It's Darwin Allen with a good run and a first down inside the Legacy 40-yard line to the 39. Darwin Allen.
One of the things that I liked about watching Darwin Allen coming into this game is that he gets north and south in a hurry.
I think we're watching Darwin evolve tonight on the biggest stage.
They feed it back to Darwin Allen here, who trucks his way to the 35-yard line, a gain of about 4 to bring up 2nd down. Now we're inside of 90 seconds here ahead of a 2nd and 6 snap, and Prosper Richland will go up tempo. In the gun stands Brighton Jones on 2nd down and 6 from the 35. Jones flushed immediately. Jones rolling far side. He will tuck, keep it himself, and he's hammered out near the 30-yard line, right shy of the line to gain. He actually took a hit and stayed on his feet somehow as he got spun out of bounds.
That was Eli Kelly again lowering the boom on Brighton Jones. It looked like he was going to easily pick up the first down, but number 5 can close that gap in a hurry. a zero angle tackle.
Yeah, Eli Kelly fluctuates for this Legacy team between corner and safety. He's got 5 interceptions on the year, but it's also a sure tackler.
Third down and about a yard. They give it to Darwin Allen, who's got the first down into the red zone. And Darwin Allen got carried out of bounds.
How about the strength from the freshman? That's grown man strength.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I really enjoy what Prosper Richland is doing on this drive. Having the luxury of having a timeout in their back pocket has allowed them to run the rock. Everybody in the building thinks that they're going to put it in the air, but they've pulled the switcheroo on everybody and kept the ball on the ground, picking up big chunks of yardage on every play.
As Allen was ushered out of bounds by his own strength, down to 57 seconds here. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 17 with the clock stopped for Prosper Richland. Keeper for Brighton Jones. Jones makes a cut and he dives forward inside the 10. Mark him down there for a gain of 7. They have 1 timeout left, down to 48 seconds, and the clock is running.
How often do you see the center, number 72, Spencer Matthews, pull? It's pretty athletic from the center.
40 seconds.
Did it again.
Brighton Jones, the keeper. Spun down with a 1st and goal to the 6.
72 is probably their smallest offensive lineman, but his agility allows him to get out on the perimeter and secure those blocks, just like you pointed out, Carter. That's a good call.
30 seconds now. 1st and goal from the 6 for Prosper Richland. Keeper Brighton Jones, and he's brought down back near the 10. A loss of about 4. Down to 23 seconds here. And if you're Kenneth Gilchrist, this is where you use your final timeout. And he does.
Guess who blew up that play, Greg Powers?
Who was it?
Jaden Broomfield.
Wow. Every week we have one of these guys that just seems to come out of the woodwork who is a sleeper in Texas high school football. Last week it was Kingwood, tight end Tristan Laughlin, who caught 3 touchdown passes, a big 6'5" player who has an offer from Southern Miss and just picked up a new one from McNeese yesterday. Could Broomfield be our breakout player of this game in the 2026 class?
Look at Broomfield. Also Donovan Ross.
Yeah.
From Richland, the wide receiver.
Donovan Ross, 2027. He's a guy that has a chance to still go and work out in front of college coaches during the camp season next year. But Naheem Richardson, too. He's a defensive back. Ross had a great catch on him in the end zone, but Richardson's pretty solid.
I also don't really give that a negative grade for Naheem Richardson on that Moss by Ross. I mean, that's just a great play. Sometimes great offense beats great defense.
Yeah, no, not throwing any shade on Naheem Richardson at all. That dude's a baller.
23 seconds to play in the first half. Prosper Richland trails by 13. Here with a 2nd and goal from the 9. They're out of timeouts, and they do get the ball to start the second half here probably after this possession. Man in motion, here's Brighton Jones. Jones is flush, tries to run. He's not going anywhere. He lost 2. He's sacked to the 12.
And now they got to go.
Down to 15 seconds. The clock is going to keep running here, and they got to hurry up and get to the line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 12. 8 seconds down to 7. They'll have one play with 5 seconds. Brighton Jones fires, end zone, incomplete to end the first half.
That one hurts for Richland. You got to get some points on that drive, I feel like. Now you're going to the locker room down 28-15. You're not going to get many chances that deep in Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences territory.
It was really the play before that where he took a sack, and that young sophomore quarterback will learn from that moment. You can't take a sack in that situation. You got to let go of the football to be able to give yourself a chance to have 2 more plays for the end zone.
That does end our first half here in the DCTX Rising Game of the Week. We're back in about 28 minutes. Your score at the break, the Houston Legacy School of Sport Sciences 28, Prosper Richland 15 at the half. We are back for half number 2 here in the DCTX Rising Game of the Week. Once again, I'm Gavin Moritz alongside Carter Yates and Greg Powers. We got a good one here as we open up the third quarter. Prosper Richland set to receive. They trailed 28-15 against Keyshawn Henderson and the visiting Houston Legacy School of Sports Sciences Titans. And so here, guys, the Raiders going to get this ball to start the third quarter. You would have liked points, of course, to end that first half. That last drive that came down to the final play, a throw up to the end zone. It fell incomplete. But a chance here to get the ball and try to get back in within a score here.
And I love the fight that Prosper Richland showed in the second quarter. I mentioned it when they're down 28-0. This is the last game of the season. This shows the culture they've built in the short amount of time together. And they showed it right there by fighting all the way back, because it would have been very easy to roll over, and they didn't. And now we got a ball game on our hands.
It's a Houston Legacy here.
On that other sideline, you got a lot of playmakers who want to win this game as well. Up 13, they need to make sure that they can start to stop this Prosper Richland offense, slow them down, because all the momentum at the end of the first half was in Prosper Richland's favor.
On the return here, Mekhi Harris. Harris spins out of the first couple tackles, and he's down right at the 34-yard line, where Prosper Richland will set up shop to open up the third quarter.
And I know we've talked so much about Keyshawn Henderson, and as we should, he's the number 1 prospect in the state of Texas, but been so impressed with Brighton Jones, the Prosper Richland quarterback, the sophomore, who is showing this future's bright for this Prosper Richland team. He's got some go juice, Powers. He can hit the nitrous.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they've used a 2 QB system so far in this game, rotating Brighton Jones in and out with Keegan Lawson, and Brighton Jones gets the call out here to start the second half. Just a sophomore, by the way.
And here, Brighton Jones and company will start 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Just 7 seconds into the third quarter, Jones looks to throw. Try to hit a wheel route down the near side. It's incomplete.
And the receiver just not ready for the ball, but that's a good throw from Brighton Jones. You see the coaching staff telling that wide receiver, hey, you got to be ready for the ball as soon as you get up the field on that wheel route. You don't want to wait till you're 10 yards down the field, because this Legacy School of Sports Sciences defensive line is crashing down on Jones.
Yeah, he got the ball out on the right timing. Receiver just wasn't ready for it, but it would have been a big gain otherwise.
Intended target was Kaiser Jones. Now it's 2nd down and 10 as they motion Harris. Keeper for Brighton Jones. And Brighton Jones a gain of 2 up to the 36 to bring up now a big 3rd down and 8 here for Prosper Richland.
Number 44, Traynell Rivers, the nose tackle, who had that pick 6 in the first half, was the first guy in on that tackle.
11:28 to play in the third quarter, and now it's 3rd down and 8 here for Prosper Richland. They need the plus 45 or so for a first. Or I should say across the 45 in their own territory. Legacy rushes 5. Middle pass is caught on the slant. There to reel it in is Kaiser Jones. He's a yard short to bring up 4th and 1.
Such an intriguing call here, Powers. Do you punt it away and give the ball back to Keyshawn Henderson, this offense, or do you try to go for it? It looks like they're trying to go for it.
No way I punt the ball right here. Let me get Brighton Jones with some action, give him a chance to pick up the first down, or hand it off to Big Julian Thomas. But I can't help but think of John Mateer at Oklahoma. Brighton Jones has that little bit of energy where he seems like he could pick up a yard at any time.
4th and 1 from their own 43. Handoff, straight away, 1st down across the 45 goes Julian Thomas.
Got it by an inch. I agree with you, Powers. I love the call there. Playing to win right now, not to extend this game. They know they need points on every drive to stay in this one.
Well, I mean, if you possess the ball, you also keep the ball out of Keyshawn Henderson's hands. And maybe even more importantly, Mike Brown's.
10:20 to go in the third quarter. Prosper Richland a 1st down and 10 from their own 45. Brighton Jones trying to tuck and run, and Houston Legacy blows it up for a loss of a yard. A pack of Titans all around Brighton Jones.
Well, right out of the gate, Carter, something that I've noticed that the Houston Legacy defense is doing a better job is with that motion. They haven't been confused when this guy's getting in motion, and that's allowing them to keep their eyes on the quarterback, make sure that he's not gashing them for big chunks of yardage.
Yeah, really nice defensive adjustments from the coaching staff for the second half.
9:45 to go in the quarter, 2nd down and 11. Pop pass, they flip it back to Mekhi Harris, who's cut down back inside the 35-yard line.
Guess who? Carter.
Jaden Broomfield bringing the boom for a loss of about 20 yards. It is third down and a country mile, as Gavin likes to say. I mean, there was no fooling Broomfield on that play.
This dude has been all over the field tonight. He's a hard-hitting linebacker, but has showed plenty of athleticism chasing down plays behind the line of scrimmage.
More like Jaden Boomfield, and now it's third down and 22.
Nice.
Page out of Carter's playbook. Third down and 22 here, backed up to their own 33. They need now the plus 45 for a first as Brighton Jones fires, caught Donovan Ross. Donovan Ross comes up maybe a yard short, or maybe he's right at the line. It'll be fourth down and 1. They get 21 yards on third and 22.
Unbelievable. I mean, when you're in a pinch, look for Donovan Ross. He has been one of the breakout stars tonight, along with Broomfield on the other side.
He said country mile. I'm going to get 21 out of 22 of that mile right there on this play. 1 yard to go here for a first down.
And so now fourth and 1. They've already done this on this drive, going for it. Now at the plus 46, they're going to go for it again. Brighton Jones, a keeper. Brighton Jones has the first down to the 44. Needed 1, got about 2.
Look at the power from the sophomore quarterback. He's not the biggest guy, but he just refused to go down.
I love the opportunity for the quarterback to be able to see a hole that he can get through to pick up the first down in those types of situations. If you have a guy who can run, it's really to your advantage as an offensive play caller. It makes you so hard to stop because you could hand it off or you could keep it.
And that time, Brighton Jones kept it for a first down on a gain of 2. 8 to play in the third. Jones will keep it again. Here's Brighton Jones with a burst of speed inside the 30, and he hops out to the 25 with a first down and a gain of nearly 20.
Every time that Brighton Jones starts running with the rock and puts his head down, I kind of get on the edge of my seat a little bit because you know there's a big play waiting to happen.
Good block up front by junior offensive lineman Daniel Lee on number 44 right there to get Brighton Jones some daylight, and he took advantage of that, picking up a huge chunk of yardage on that play.
Now it's first and 10 to the 25-yard line for Prosper Richland. Handoff, and down near the 21 goes Julian Thomas, a gain of about 4.
There we go, fellas. I heard that hitting the hole from all the way up here. That's the type of football I love to watch.
And now they're going to go up tempo here, will the Raiders. Second down and about 7. They go back to Julian Thomas, who spins his way to the 18 to bring up third down, and we'll call it 2.
And you mentioned Powers. This running back room is already pretty stocked for Richland with Julian Thomas and then the superstar freshman they have back there too.
Yeah, Darwin Allen, and then number 22, Nicoy Stewart also gets some touches. So it's a pretty diverse backfield. Everybody brings something different to the table.
And there, Brighton Jones trying to extend forward on the spin for a first down, and he's going to be maybe a half yard short, if that. And it'll be fourth down, and we'll call it 1 here for the third time on this drive. We're going to go for it again, down to 6:50 to go in the third quarter.
Prosper Richland has pushed all their chips into the middle of the table in this second half drive.
The Raiders all in. They'll go for it again on 4th and 1 from the 16. Handoff. First down to the 14-yard line. Nicoy Stewart extends the drive again.
And you know what? On all of these fourth down conversions, Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, has hit them before the sticks. And Prosper Richland's ball carriers have just refused to go down and have gotten the first down.
We do have a penalty marker down inside the 20.
Came in right towards the end of the play or right after the play.
We get the call here. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Houston Legacy. And so it is a first down either way, and now perhaps some extra yardage tacked on at the end of the run that picked up a first down for Nicoy Stewart.
All right, they're going to bring it down well inside the 5-yard line after this one.
They spot the ball at about the 7, 5:46 to go in the third. on what has been a very long drive here for Prosper Richland.
Yeah, 5:46 left in the third quarter off this one drive.
And to put that into some perspective, they possessed the ball a lot in the second quarter. This Houston Legacy defense has been on the field constantly. As this game goes on, Prosper Richland is much deeper than Legacy. Could that be a huge factor as we get into the late stages of this game? Legacy's offense is one that can score quickly and score in bunches. But could that even be to their disadvantage by getting their defense right back out on the field again?
First and goal from the 7. Handoff to the freshman, Darwin Allen, who will churn his way all the way down to the 2, a gain of 5 to bring up second and goal.
It's a really good point, Powers, because when we're on the field pregame, Gavin and I looked at the offensive linemen at Houston Legacy. It's like they have 6 guys over here. That's not a lot. Usually you want to see like 10 offensive linemen.
And here's second and goal from the 2 for Prosper Richland. They feed it back to the freshman, Darwin Allen, who made it back to about the line of scrimmage and really not much else.
And that's also because Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, is a state-funded charter school that has just under 600 people on campus. So Prosper Richland is a much bigger campus than Houston Legacy is.
No gain on second and goal from the 2. Now it's third and goal with 4:56 to play here in the third quarter.
They got all 3 of those running backs in the backfield on this snap.
Jones rolling against the blitz, fires, caught, reaching for the goal line.
Wow, they're going to mark him just short. What a tremendous play on the perimeter there by the Legacy defense to keep him just shy of scoring a touchdown there.
As Brighton Jones thought it was a touchdown strike to Nicoy Stewart, who they do mark, right at the goal line, and now they're going to talk about it.
One of those running backs had a tremendous blitz pickup.
And it's a touchdown for Nicoy Stewart.
And not something I've seen often in my Texas high school football coverage days. The referees consult and decide to call it a touchdown after the fact. That's an odd occurrence.
Delayed celebration, but it counts nonetheless. And we got ourselves a ball game here, folks.
And the Richland Raiders will here try to tack on the PAT. Try to make this a 6-point game if they can connect on the extra point with 4:45 to go in the third. And again, that was the first drive of the second half. They ate up 7+ minutes.
It felt like the first half lasted forever in the best way. Like, I kept looking at the clock and saying, well, we're still in the first quarter? Really? Both teams have had the ball 3 times each. So I'm so shocked to see now it's 4:45 left in the third quarter, and Prosper Richland's the only one who has the ball.
Coach Bishop looking for an explanation there on the touchdown call. I doubt that they could say anything that was going to make him happy in that situation.
Likely not, as here Gavin Villarreal will try the extra point. Villarreal, money, and it's 28-22. Well, 4:45 to go in the third quarter. Prosper Richland, one drive, 7:15 off the clock, and they cut it down to a 6-point deficit here as Houston Legacy leads at 28-22. We're back after these words from our valued partners. And so we're back after, again, a successful drive for Prosper Richland. Carter, we said they wanted to come out and get some points, of course, to start the third quarter. They missed out on it at the end of that first half. The pass on the last play of the second quarter, of course, fell incomplete in the end zone, intended, I believe, for Ross. That drive did exactly what you needed it to. Not only did you score, you got the extra point. Now it's a one-score game. Less than that, it's a 6-point game. They took up so much time and that takes time away from the Legacy offense, quarterbacked by Keyshawn Henderson.
That Prosper Richland drive took so much time and took so many plays that I almost forgot they had a 3rd and 21 that Donovan Ross nearly converted to allow them to keep going.
I know everybody on the Prosper Richland sideline is 10 toes down to want to win this game, but that was a program statement drive, a type of drive that is deeper than just one game. This is something to build on. This is a Prosper Richland team that will move up and compete in UIL next year. Maybe having some local rivalries with some of the schools around here or close crosstown rivalries. This is a team that wants to be taken seriously. They want to go to Whataburger after the game and be able to celebrate some dubs next year.
So 4:42 to go in the third. We got ourselves a ball game here as out will come the Houston Legacy offense. That will start from the 20-yard line after Michael Brown, the future Aggie, took the return and wisely hopped out with really nowhere to go on the return. Titans will go 5 wide on 1st and 10 from their own 20. Keyshawn Henderson stands back in the gun awaiting the snap. Here's Henderson out of the shotgun. Henderson drops 1st and 10 from the 20, near side, pass caught. Out of bounds, shy of the 30, a gain of a few. Braden McNeil will pick up about 6 or 7.
Carter, you said this is your first time to see the number 1 player in the state since you've been working at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. What are your thoughts so far? That was a pretty smooth throw.
He has lived up to my expectations, and my expectations were pretty enormous.
After a completion from Henderson to McNeil, now it's 2nd down and 3. Pretty much the same play, and McNeil's got a 1st down to the 35. Keyshawn goes right back to him for a fresh set.
If they're going to keep giving that much cushion, they're just going to keep going back to Michael Brown. We know he can go downtown Michael Brown, but he's also a 8-yard hitch Michael Brown too.
Now it's 1st and 10 here from the 34. Keyshawn Henderson lofts it downfield, one-on-one for Brown, who makes the catch. Now they say incomplete. It fell out of Brown's hands at the last second, and great coverage.
He's a guy that can take the top off of a defense in a hurry. He showed some good route tree diversification throughout the course of this game as well. Mike Brown, of course, heading to Texas A&M to play his college ball for Mike Elko in College Station after he's done playing for Houston Legacy.
What a pass breakup, too, by Prosper Richland cornerback Kaiser Jones, who actually joined the team in the summer after moving in from Round Rock. He is playing both ways now deeper in the year after he's learned the playbook. Coach Kenneth Gilchrist said he is one of the hardest working players he has.
Henderson gets out of the blitz. Now he's going to have a 1st down. Keyshawn Henderson spun down finally inside the plus 40 with a 1st and plenty more to the Richland 39.
I made the comparison in the first half. I'm going to keep throwing it out there. Jaden Daniels is a guy that Keyshawn Henderson reminds me of in the NFL right now, who also picks up big chunks of yardage on the ground in a hurry. As a matter of fact, Jaden Daniels and Keyshawn Henderson don't look like they're moving very fast, but they're extremely fast. Lull you to sleep and gash the defense.
Henderson keeps it here, and he's brought down for a gain of a yard to the 38. Not a ton of running room there, but he does make a positive gain out of it to bring up 2nd and 9.
The reason they don't look fast is because they're so smooth.
Yes, exactly right. They don't look like they're exerting a lot of effort, so to say, but they're just so smooth as athletes. Jeremy Sharp, too, by the way, number 32 on Prosper Richland, has made numerous plays tonight where he's just a heat-seeking missile coming in from the 2nd level.
And there he limited the future Houston Cougar to only a gain of a yard. Now it's 2nd and 9 here from the 38 for Legacy. Henderson looking, firing. It's caught by McNeil. Upended to the 30 to bring up 3rd down and a yard. Another catch for Braden McNeil to the near side.
What a luxury of weapons that Keyshawn Henderson has within this offense. Michael Brown, Braden McNeil, D.D. Richardson. These are all guys who make big plays. And if things all fail, Julian Shepard is your safety net as a top-tier running back.
Now it's 3rd and a yard, and the playbook wide open for Michael Bishop and his offense here for Keyshawn Henderson. Handoff. Shepard is thrown down at the 30. They run it, and it'll be 4th and 1.
Parker Sayru has done this multiple times tonight, crashing from the opposite edge. It's like they're leaving him unblocked, not expecting him to get out and on the other side of the formation, like he doesn't have the athleticism to reach it, but he does.
4th down in the yard. Houston Legacy going to go for it with 2:25 to go in the third.
I'm convinced they just don't have a kicker or a punter anyway at this point.
Handoff, Shepard, first down. Got a little extra shove from Keyshawn Henderson, and Julian Shepard with a first down to the 21.
I really like his running style, Carter. It just seems like choppy, hard to get a clean hit on, twisting, turning, churning yardage on every time he gets the ball.
North and south runner, too. He does not go side to side, east to west.
First down, edge of the red zone for the Titans. From the 21, Henderson, straight drop. Far side, caught. Out of bounds near the 15 goes D.D. Richardson.
And we saw Henderson go through his progressions on that snap, and that's what you want to see if you're a Houston Cougars fan, waiting on this 5-star to don the Cougars jersey and lead your offense. Number 1 option was it open, find the number 2 guy.
And D.D. Richardson was actually the leading receiver coming into tonight with 759 yards and 10 touchdowns.
And on 2nd down and 4, the play is blown dead at the snap. And it looks like it's going to be a false start here against Legacy. And so that'll back it up to the 20-yard line from the 15. It is a false start. 2nd down and 9 now for the Titans.
Now inside of 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. After both teams ran about 100 offensive plays each in the first half, we've had 2 drives.
2nd 9, here's Henderson. Fires, caught. Timmy Timmerman stays on his feet. Look at Timmerman thrown out inside the 5 to bring up a 1st and goal.
6'5", 225 pounds, and you can see that he's a hard guy for high school level guys to bring down in the open field. Almost scored a touchdown.
Julian Shepard had a hell of a blitz pickup, blocking from his running back spot. I wonder who's going to get the ball now.
Well, it's going to be hard for him to get the ball
Yeah,
unless
he's a
it's a
sniffer
short.
back now.
1st and goal from the 4.
Shovel
Keyshawn
pass.
Henderson.
Looking at the roster and not the formation caught me lacking.
As Keyshawn Henderson will line up by himself on 1st and goal from the 4. Henderson. End zone, caught, touchdown, Houston Legacy. There is Braden McNeil for the score.
I was really impressed with Braden McNeil on this drive. He really understands open areas, how to use space to get himself in position to make a catch, and there he was, splitting 2 defenders, and Keyshawn Henderson fitted in. I don't even want to say that the window was tight, but it was a perfect pass, threaded the needle.
Now it's a 12-point lead here once again for the Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, and they're going to go for 2.
I don't think he's had an off-target throw since the first pass of the game, which was a triple pass.
They will go for 2 here from inside the 3. 2-point attempt. Keyshawn fires wide open. Walking in is Julian Shepard. And it's a 14-point lead for the Titans.
I was 1 play late. He got the 2-point conversion.
There you go. 36-22, 121 to go in the third. And Houston Legacy did what they needed to do. Keyshawn Henderson sat on the sideline for nearly an entire quarter, essentially. 7 minutes and 15 seconds of game time. Comes out, leads a touchdown drive.
He was just over there warming up his engine, right, ready to come in. Seat warmers were on.
The defrost windows.
Yeah, defrost was already working. He was ready to step in there and drive.
I'll tell you guys who I was impressed with on that drive as well. Braden McNeil.
Yep.
There was a stretch there where he had 2 or 3 catches within about 4 or 5 plays, back-to-back catches at one point. He reeled him in along the sideline, a couple hitch routes, and then later he catches the touchdown.
Yeah, a guy that's really having a strong season this year. 2026, who's uncommitted, has an offer from Southwest Baptist, so there are colleges that are interested in him, and I can see why. This is another guy that people need to make sure that they get on their radar. If you're looking for a guy and trying to keep him in Texas, BZ McNeil is still available.
A couple of catches on that drive, including the score for Beasy, and the minute 21 to go in the third. Prosper Richland will get it back, trailing now again by 14, 2 scores. Kick will sail shortly into the night sky, into the arms of Donovan Ross back inside the 30. Ross on the return. He's had a couple of good ones. This one he's cut down to the 32, where the Raiders will set up shop back at the 31 now. So if you're Richland, you've kind of found a rhythm you like, guys. We saw them swap out quarterbacks the first probably 4 to 5 drives of the night between Brighton Jones and Keegan Dawson, and now they've gone exclusively for the last several drives, Brighton Jones.
Well, I believe it's his ability to run the ball that has entrenched him as the guy that they're looking to right now, because he can keep the legacy defense on it playing back on its heels because of his running ability.
Brighton Jones, a guy that can open up the playbook in the offense here for Prosper Richland. A minute 15 to go in the third. They start at their own 31. Jones. Halfback screen. It's caught along the sideline. Hitting the sideline, staying on his feet across the 40. Near the line to gain. He may be a yard short to bring up 2nd and 1. There's Julian Thomas for a gain of 9.
And I couldn't tell if he was happy or frustrated that he wanted to score a touchdown on that play. He was trying to stay in bounds, and he had a chance if he could have.
Well, number 28, Cassius Phillips, showed tremendous effort coming towards the sideline to shove him out of bounds, because you're right, Powers, that play could have been a touchdown.
They're adjusting the chains here. He only got 9 to the 40, so it should be 2nd down and about a yard. They gave him the first initially, and now it will be 2nd and 1 here as they adjust the down and distance. 2nd down and a yard here from their own 40 for Prosper Richland.
Officials timeout here.
Play is stopped as Kenneth Gilchrist now none too pleased to the near sideline, as initially they gave him the first down to the 40, which was only a gain of 9. It should be 2nd and 1, and it is, but the initial indication was that it was a first down on a gain of 9 on 1st and 10. 1:07 to go in the third, and now it's 2nd and 1. They give it to Mekhi Harris, who maybe was trying to look to throw, or maybe he just had nowhere to go, and he's buried back to the 32.
He had nowhere to go because Omari McNeil completely cut off that outside jet sweep motion by sprinting across the formation. That was a burst of speed there from the middle linebacker, outside linebacker.
Sets up a pretty interesting play call on the 3rd and 9 here. I'll say 3rd and a long 8. Got to put the ball in the air, or can Brighton Jones keep the rock and pick up a first down?
Jones will roll near side. Ross fired to him there. Donovan Ross trying to spring free, and he's got a first down to the 44. Another big-time catch for Donovan Ross. That one didn't look like he'd maybe have a shot at the first down. Instead, he gets way more than he needed.
3rd and long, he dug down and found that something extra to move those chains, keep the ball in his offense's hands, looking to add some points on the board.
I'm a believer in Donovan Ross. We also talked about what a stud soccer player he is. I love the multi-sport athlete aspect. He's shown he can run almost every route on the route tree. He's got strong hands and good yak ability.
Final play of the third quarter as the clock hits 0. And flying forward to the 47 on the carry goes Nicoy Stewart to end the third. And so we have played 3 complete. Prosper Richland trails 22-36 to the Houston Legacy School of Sport Sciences. We go to the 4th, 12 to play in regulation. Richland with the football.
You'll never ever find somebody do it like me.
Dave Campbell's Texan Lives Athlete of the Month, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, shines a spotlight on one outstanding female and one exceptional male athlete each month who exemplify excellence on and off the field. This prestigious recognition celebrates student athletes who demonstrate remarkable athletic performance, unwavering dedication to their teams, and a commitment to their communities. To nominate your student athlete, scan the QR code on screen or visit texasfootball.com/athlete of the month. With support from Dick's Sporting Goods, we are proud to honor these young leaders who inspire their peers and represent the best of Texas high school sports. We're back to start the fourth quarter here in the DCTX Rising Game of the Week. Prosper Richland football, 2nd down and 7 from the 47. And that will go nowhere to start the fourth quarter. And now it's going to be 3rd down and about 9 after a loss. As Keegan Dawson back in at quarterback here to start the fourth.
Yeah, interesting. We haven't seen Dawson really since the first quarter. Now he's getting some more looks.
And here will be 3rd down and a long 8 from their own 46 for the Raiders. Dawson. He's flushed to the far side. And Dawson forced to fire it away, incomplete. 4th down and 9 incoming.
And Brighton Jones still has his helmet on, is by the coaches. He looked like he was kind of trying to jog something off on the sidelines. It might have just been a little shaken up, but he looks like he's good to go now. He's probably going to stay on the sideline until the next drive.
Key 4th down play here, though, for the – I don't want to say he's the backup quarterback because he got the starting quarterback back in the game in a key situation.
The co-starter. And also the punter.
As Keegan Dawson will back up presumably for a quick kick, and he does kick it away. We'll take a Prosper Richland bounce to the 22-yard line, out of bounds there. And so Prosper Richland will give the ball back to Houston Legacy and Keyshawn Henderson with 11:14 to play in a 14-point hole for the Raiders.
Yeah, Keyshawn Henderson has a chance to put the nail in the coffin here.
Interesting play call there, too. You're trailing by 2 scores, 4th and 9. They've shown success on 4th down throughout the course of this game. I get the play call because you want to trust your defense, right? But when you have the number 1 player in the state, the number 1 quarterback in the country on the other team, could be a mistake.
I agree, but also if they don't get that, Keyshawn Henderson has the ball on the opposite side of the 50 going in.
It was 4th and 9. Now it's 1st down and 10 from their own 22. They dump it off in the flat. It's caught. A stiff arm and a flag. As hopping out of bounds with some good yardage goes D.D. Richardson.
Yeah, and I think number 11, Corbin Tombach, forced a holding call out there by trying to fight through the block.
It is holding called against the Titans with 11:07 left to play.
It's a nice effort from the junior cornerback. Because if he doesn't fight his ass off, I mean, that play could still be going.
Back to the 20. Well, they're still walking it off here. So back to the 14, that is. 1st down and long here for the Legacy School of Sports Sciences. Under 11 minutes to play now. The clock is rolling ahead of a 1st and 18 snap for Keyshawn Henderson. He hands it off here. It's Julian Shepard who's spun down to the 20. And a gain of 6 to bring up 2nd down and about 12.
I always feel like Shepard's 1 tackle away from hitting the big one. He's just getting right into the 2nd level, the 3rd level, just one big play away, 1 step away.
From their own 20 here, 2nd down and 12. Keyshawn Henderson steps up. He's going to tuck and run. Here's Keyshawn Henderson. And he's got a 1st down and a whole lot more to the 43-yard line.
Such a glider and a strider. Looks so effortless as he's taking off, but he's going so fast.
It was like 22 yards in the blink of an eye, and he had a lot of open field right there when he pulled the ball down to run.
10:15 left to play. Clock continues to run against Prosper Richland here in the 4th. Pitch out from Henderson. It goes to Shepard. And Shepard is finally hammered down near the 47.
There
he
it
stayed on his feet. There's Julian Shepard. Somehow he stayed in bounds and on his feet, and he's down inside the 10.
Pop the big one, Powers.
and Cole Fox tracking him down, keeping him from scoring a touchdown. This is high school football, guys. That could be a type of play that reinvigorates your defense. That could be the type of play that saves you the game. If for some reason Legacy doesn't score here, credit to Cole Fox for the hustle.
Somehow they didn't bring down Julian Shepard, and he takes it all the way down to the 11 to bring up 1st and 10 for the Legacy Titans. Henderson hands it off to D.D. Richardson. Richardson will lose yardage back to the 13, a loss of 2.
I'm so impressed tonight from Jeremy Sharp, the outside linebacker. They call him the Raider for the boundary side outside linebacker there. He's sort of flying around the field tonight.
Yeah, he's a good player.
9:20 left in regulation here. In a 14-point lead for Houston Legacy. And you kind of feel like here if they put it in for a touchdown that this is it'd probably be the ball game. They face a 2nd down and 12 from the 13-yard line of Richland. Henderson against the blitz. He gets out of it again. Here's Keyshawn inside the 5. Keyshawn Henderson drives forward. He got right to the goal line. Keyshawn says he's got a touchdown, and he does.
He would not be denied. Looking to pass, instead tucks and runs. We've talked about how he's a glider and a strider. He's got some power, too, because he had Prosper Richland defenders hanging on his back as he carried them into the end zone.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns for the 5-star. He's wanting to match his stars with TDs tonight.
And the second on the ground for the future Cougar, who will bring a lot of versatility to Willie Fritz's offense come next year. 8:38 left to play. And Houston Legacy going to go for 2 up by 20. For good measure, although they have all night after each touchdown. Henderson fires. That one deflected and incomplete. Lucky that one wasn't going in the other direction. Pair of Raider defenders in front of it. It falls incomplete, thankfully, for the Titans. And the Legacy lead sits at 20 with 8:38 to play. We're back after this here in the waning 9 minutes or so of regulation.
Yo, these KDs are fire. Bro, you work here?
Whatever, kid. Take notes. Yo, I can go all pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
Not anymore.
You fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
Billy needs cleats. You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Dick's is the GOAT.
Introducing Elite Source Evaluators, your source for evaluating top athletes. We identify, rank, and project top high school players and provide insight and exposure that helps players stand out in the recruiting process. Get ready for the 2026 ESC Gridiron Showcase. This invite-only event brings together the top high school football talent from across Texas, giving them an opportunity to go head-to-head with the best, showcase their skills, and get recognized by colleges around the country. The road to the next level starts here.
After a touchdown run for Keyshawn Henderson, it's 42-22. Houston Legacy leads by 20. Kickoff fielded here by Prosper Richland, searching for a return. Donovan Ross to the 38. And Donovan Ross, who's had perhaps the busiest night of anyone on this Richland team, maybe. Good return as they'll start just shy of the 40.
And Carter, I listened to your pregame talk with Coach Gilchrist, and he was raving about the progression that Ross has made within this offense. He's really starting to believe that he can be the guy, and it shows tonight.
He's carried himself like the guy tonight. He's got that alpha dog mentality. Looks like Brighton Jones back under center.
And Brighton Jones and company will start from their own 39 here. Down 20, 8:38 to play. Jones goes to the air. Pass is a little bit behind the intended target, Julian Thomas.
It looks like it's an off-target throw, and it is, but also Brighton Jones had to throw it behind his receiver because number 9 on Houston Legacy, Jaden Gray, was bearing down over the top.
Going to bring up 2nd and 10 here, just shy of their own 40. 8:27 left to play. Jones a keeper here for Prosper Richland. Brighton Jones turning it up the sideline, and he's got a first down inside the 47-yard line of Houston Legacy.
That's nice perimeter blocking, too, by Kaiser Jones. Again, coaching staff couldn't have spoken more high of the Round Rock move-in this summer. He has played both ways tonight. Originally, start of the season was kind of just playing defense only because it was taking him some time to learn the playbook. He moved into the summer, of course, but now he's doesn't come off the field.
1st and 10 from the plus 48. Jones's pass near side. Incomplete for Julian Thomas, who got laid out after the ball was on the ground. No flag, though. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
That's not a very fun play. A drop and you still get popped.
8:16 left. It is incomplete. And a 2nd down looming here for the Richland Raiders. From the 48 of Houston Legacy, they hand it off to Darwin Allen, who carries a defender or two with him across the 45 to the 44 for a gain of 4 yards.
And you triggered my memory a little bit, Carter, talking about the dual sport athletic ability of Donovan Ross, who also plays soccer. Well, Darwin Allen is a very accomplished wrestler. Was a district champion as an 8th grader, a guy who also has multi-sport ability, and one of my favorite multi-sport type of guys, a wrestler. You know, I don't remember too many wrestling running backs.
I remember wrestling linebackers. He kind of runs like a linebacker.
They give it off to him here on 3rd down and long, about 6 yards to go, and now it'll bring up a 4th down and 7 as he gets dropped for a loss of a yard, and a flag is thrown at the end of the play well after the fact.
Broomfield's been working hard all night, came up with that ball. They ruled him down, but he was about to be rewarded for all that hard work with a touchdown. He had nothing but wide open space to run if that ball was out.
He's like, my big man on the line of scrimmage got one early in the game. Why can't I get one too?
Personal foul after the fact will go against Houston Legacy. And so a costly penalty there for the Titans on the defensive side. They had a stop to bring up 4th and 7 from the 45. And so it's a 15-yard penalty down to the 30 and a free first down for Richland. New life on this drive with 7:28 to play here for Brighton Jones and crew. Jones, deep shot, near side, incomplete inside the 5, intended for Kaiser Jones. And so the Jones to Jones connection falls incomplete with 7:20 left.
Tight coverage by Naheem Richardson. I've been really impressed with him. Starting from the second quarter and going on to the second half, he's played lights out.
And you really have to pick your poison when you're talking about this Legacy defense, because both corners, no matter who they are, whether it's Naheem Richardson and Gerald Green or Naheem Richardson and Eli Kelly or some combination of any of those guys, a D1 guy is going to be locking you down every play.
And here Kaiser Jones, after the incompletion, slow to get up on the near sideline. He's still down with 7:20 left to play. And they're going to work on Kaiser Jones to the sideline here. And he's well out of bounds, so the offense will be forced to work without him as they tend to the receiver outside the end zone. 7:16 and counting here left to play. 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. Brighton Jones flushed, and he's sacked back to the 37-yard line, cut down by a couple of Titans.
And credit to DeAndre Frazier right there on the Legacy School of Sports Sciences defense. Come downhill in a hurry to cover the guy coming out of the flats. I think that's where he wanted to go with the football. It wasn't available. All he could do was tuck. the ball and take the sack there.
And DeAndre Frazier covering the wheel route made it so Amari McNeil could rush up the middle and get to the quarterback.
6:40 left to play. Now it's 3rd down and long. 17 yards to go. Jones. They set up a screen. He fires on the screen. It's juggled, caught with a couple of tips and maybe one hand by Darwin Allen. And it goes in as a gain of a yard to the 36. It'll be 4th and 16. And probably the most impressive 1-yard gain that we've seen all year.
Book it.
And with 6:12 and ticking down left to play, it'll be 4th and 16. And perhaps the last gasp on offense here for the Richland Raiders.
I'm watching the replay. He elevated for that ball.
That he did. 4th and 16 from the 36. They need to get inside the 20 to keep the drive moving. Brighton Jones fires, incomplete. Turnover on downs. And Houston Legacy will take over from their own 36-yard line with 5:48 to play. And perhaps here one last drive for the Titan offense.
Yep, could be the last time we see Keyshawn Henderson tonight. I came into tonight having never watched a number 1 overall player in the state live and in person, and he has exceeded my expectations tonight. There's just something different about him, both the way he runs and also throwing dimes out there.
I knew about his talent coming in. We knew he was fast. We knew he could throw the ball really far. We knew he was pretty accurate. He made the Elite 11 finals. What I've been most impressed with throughout the course of this game is his composure.
Yeah, because Prosper Richland did make it tight at 28-22, and you saw no change in body language in a good way from Henderson.
Now it sits at 42-22 with 5:48 to play. Henderson near side caught Michael Brown. And Michael Brown will walk out to the 42.
And also, how about Michael Brown, by the way? I mean, he's a riser in my eyes tonight.
Yeah, Mike Brown is a guy who has always been one of the best route runners in the state. That's the reason why I've had him rated as a 4-star, basically wire to wire. I feel like he fits it within the Texas A&M offense very well because he's a guy that can play outside in or inside out. I think he has his best opportunity in the slot moving forward because he can get open in a tight window.
Here's Keyshawn Henderson on 2nd down and 5. Henderson flushed. He will tuck and run, gets out of the first tackle, and he's slung forward to the 45-yard line near the line to gain, and there's a flag down in the defensive backfield. Flag thrown all the way inside the plus 40, so all the way out in the secondary.
I believe we have some extracurricular stuff going on after, towards the tail end of that play. I'm just interested to see who the call's going to go against.
And it looks like it will go against Houston Legacy. There's a personal foul called against Houston Legacy here with 5:33 to play.
Well, Keyshawn Henderson, it's not only the composure and like his attitude as Prosper Richland made a tight game, it's also his composure in the pocket. He is not taking a sack despite some heavy pressure at times tonight. He's just such a dynamic athlete, and he's always looking to throw too when he runs. He's not running to run; he's running to throw.
Running with purpose.
Yes.
3rd and 16 here from their own 30. For the Titans, Henderson drops back inside the 25. Now Henderson will loft it downfield. Man is wide open. It's caught inside the 20. What a throw by Keyshawn Henderson, and it's reeled in by D.D. Richardson.
Richardson was the one who picked up that personal foul at the end of that play. He said, let me make it right. Throw me the ball.
And what a throw that was from Keyshawn Henderson. That one sailed from inside the 25 or so all the way down near the opposing 20.
He throws a catchable ball. I've noticed that as well. It just seems like the ball is the perfect speed and in the perfect position for the wide receiver to be able to catch and run.
Against the blitz, Henderson will roll far side. He fires, end zone, caught, touchdown, Houston Legacy.
Unbelievable. Rolling out to the left, squares his shoulders up, throws an absolute dime to the wide receiver for his 6th touchdown of the night.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. The corner blitz, it was unblocked. That's just your athlete's got to make a play. Elite recognition from Keyshawn Henderson, and then elite physical play too.
I got to say, guys, this is the reason why that we came up with the idea to do the DCTX Rising Game of the Week, to watch guys like Keyshawn Henderson play in these games on Thursday nights. It's not just Friday nights in Texas. We have great Thursday night action as well.
They marked him down to the 1, and now they hands it off, and it's a spinning touchdown for Julian Shepard. They ruled that last play, that last catch, down at the 1. He came back out of the end zone to make the catch, so they ruled him down at the 1, and Julian Shepard caps off the drive with a score.
Well, Julian Shepard deserves some touchdowns because he has been numerous times just one tackle away from breaking a big one. He is blocked in the passing game too, so putting his body on the line and just running hard for this team.
I feel cheated because I gave him that touchdown for his 6th touchdown of the night already. I thought it was a clear touchdown.
Well, you can't take it away in your Greg Power stat book.
And now they'll go for 2, trying to hit the 50-point mark with 4:31 to play. Henderson fires, incomplete.
There you go. He wanted to give us at least one pass that he could build on, right? Like he wanted to have one bad pass tonight so that so that he had something to look forward to.
Just over 4.5 minutes to play. It's now 48-22. And since this was a 28-22 ball game, Houston Legacy 20 unanswered.
And I know that you're joking there, Powers, but it is also interesting for Keyshawn Henderson how he has some built-in motivation, because I feel like, just from the outside looking in, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, for a number 1 player in the state, there has been a lot of doubters about him because they don't know what his position future looked like, and also just maybe the spot he plays at.
I will be honest with you, that was some of my hesitancy in rating him at the quarterback position as well. I've seen him in 7-on-7 action absolutely dominate the wide receiver position, quite often flipping over and playing safety as well. And when he burst onto the scene here at Legacy, he was playing those positions as well. So the quarterback position is the one that he always wanted to play. And I don't want to say that he grew into it because he's always been a quarterback. But he's matured and made so much year-over-year improvement that he deserves all the accolades that he's getting. And we talked about the Navy All-American Bowl last year where he was the offensive MVP. I believe that triggered him to believe that he also had the skill set to be not only a 5-star athlete, but a 5-star QB, and he's proven it tonight.
As that kickoff from Houston Legacy will sail out of bounds inside the 25, Donovan Ross wisely watched it sail out. 4:31 to play, and out will come the Prosper Richland offense for perhaps the final time this season.
And it is senior night here at Prosper Richland, their last game of the season. Some of the guys on this team who did come over from Prosper, they're playing in their last high school football game, the last 4 minutes of their career. So I want to tip my cap to those guys for the hard work that they've put in throughout the course of their careers, not only playing at Prosper, but having to adjust to a new school and leading this team into the future. These are the guys that started it all.
Yeah, their impact will be felt in the hallways long after they graduate in May.
They bring back out here Keegan Dawson to lead the offense, starting from the 30. Dawson rolling back inside his own 15-yard line. He tries to fire it away. It's incomplete. And there was absolutely no one home as Dawson got flushed all the way back by 20 yards.
And they'll have to throw a flag on that play because he didn't reach the line of scrimmage on the pass. He was outside the tackle box, well outside the tackle box, but because the ball didn't reach the line of scrimmage, that's why there's a grounding penalty.
So it will be intentional grounding here, it looks like, against Keegan Dawson and Prosper Richland. As they'll mark it back to the 13-yard line, loss of down. It'll be 2nd and 27 for the Raiders. .424 left to play, and in the gun stands Dawson. He hands it off here, breaking out of a couple tackles up across the 20-yard line, still churning, and a great run for Nicoy Stewart, that is. Nicoy Stewart, another good carry on the night for the second running back listed on the depth chart there for Prosper Richland.
It took about 11 guys to bring him down there. He's running angry. And I do want to go back to the Prosper Richland seniors as well, because 12 of those guys made the choice to come over from Prosper High. They You know, when you look at the record this year, 3-7, it doesn't look impressive. But Kenneth Gilchrist had said that this schedule they played is going to be the hardest schedule any Prosper Richland team has played or will play, because it was an outlaw schedule. They were hunting for the best teams possible and build some grit and resolve for the future year. So it's always hardest for the first guys through the door, but they are planting trees that they won't see grow necessarily in the school building. They'll see it from afar.
And talk about some of those losses, Carter. Gunner, All Saints, Brock, and Lubbock Christian, just name 4 of those 6 losses. Those are quality programs, some of them UIL programs that are, and Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, they're not playing slouches out here in their first varsity season in an outlaw schedule. As that 4th down pass falls incomplete, it'll be a turnover on downs. And like you said, Kenneth Gilchrist in this first-year program, they have not had an easy schedule by any means.
Well, I look back and think of a school like Lake Belton and what Brian Cope has done there. This is the exact same strategy that he used when he was building that program. He wanted to play tough teams in their first – they got 2 years, I believe, of playing that outlaw schedule, and they were trying to take on all comers to see where they were at, to test their kids and see what they had in the tank. Iron sharpens iron. We hear it all the time in Texas high school football because this is the biggest of the big, the best of the best all across the country. This is where the talent lives and the best players come from. And they did that this year, and it's only going to be to their benefit going into 2026.
3:02 to play here, and the Legacy offense will start 1st and 10 from the plus 34. And play is stopped ahead of the first snap of the new drive, at least for the moment.
Only in Texas can you come to Children's Health Stadium on a Thursday night, see a team that made over a 4-hour drive that boasts the #1 quarterback in the country, a Texas A&M commit, and then across from them is a team that you might have never heard of before, but's also on the rise.
Henderson rolling, and he's sacked back to the 46-yard line. And Prosper Richland's defense that time gets to the 5-star.
Yeah, number 80, Nathan Blome, a sophomore. He's been pretty tremendous tonight as well. A couple of sophomores just making big-time impacts, and cannot wait to watch them next year.
2.5 minutes to play here in regulation.
And really, too, it was Parker Seru who forced Keyshawn Henderson into that sack.
And now they run it. It's a good run inside the 35, cutting it back to the outside. Still on his feet, hitting the sideline is Julian Shepard, who's down and out somewhere inside the 10.
He always keeps his feet moving through contact, and that's why he's able to run through arm tackles. You have to tackle him with everything that you have because his legs are always churning.
The problem is tackling him with everything you have hurts really bad.
I'd be running away from that dude for sure.
Shepard went out of bounds to the 5. From that point, it's 1st and goal with 2:17 to play. Give it back to Shepard, who maybe got a yard to the 4 to bring up 2nd and goal, and that should take us to the 2-minute timeout.
Listed at 5'8", 180 pounds, he looks like he's 215 the way he runs.
And with 2 minutes to play, we are stopped here ahead of a 2nd and goal from the 4 snap for Houston Legacy. 2-minute timeout, and we're back after this.
I still remember Mom leaving work early to bring me to all my football games. Long before the Friday night lights, the road to the end zone starts right here. And behind every touchdown is a mom, making sure her players get there on time. At Garage Door Doctor, we've had moms' backs for over 38 years. From simple repairs to upgrades, Garage Door Doctor keeps moms and players in the game.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more than the doctor. Garage Door Doctor.
Friday nights are about more than football. They're about family, friends, and the community we call home. At Higginbotham, we prioritize people, protecting what matters most to you. From your home and car to your health, business, and employees, we're here with insurance, HR, and financial services to cover you on and off the field. Higginbotham. Higginbotham.com.
Coming out of the 2-minute timeout, Keyshawn Henderson looks to throw on 2nd and goal from the 4. He fires, end zone, low but caught, and it's a touchdown for Houston Legacy. Perhaps the final of the night, and it goes to Richardson.
I'm going to go ahead and make it official. That's touchdown number 6.
Never wrong, just early.
And so 6 touchdowns on the night for Keyshawn Henderson with 1:53 to play. And they will go for 2, perhaps one more time. Henderson lines up in the shotgun on the 2-point try. Henderson zips it far side. That's caught. High pointing it right over the defender is McNeil, and the 2-point try is good.
All right. Some might say that going for 2 up 56-22 with a minute left is unsportsmanlike, but I really just don't think they have a kicker. So I don't think it could be unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I've only seen their kicker on kickoffs.
And their kicker on kickoffs is also
their middle linebacker.
Right, he's also a linebacker. They got to have someone to kick it off. They don't have to have someone to kick extra points.
Well, if they have him, we haven't seen him.
Right.
It does make me wonder if in these games that they've, and I haven't seen those games, so I'm guessing here, but when they lose 53-49 and 49-48, are they losing some of those games because they go for 2 every single time? Like, could be.
Houston Legacy, though, on their way to winning this one. With 1:53 to play, they will kick it back to Prosper Richland, leading 56-22.
Keyshawn Henderson getting this kickoff in.
Keyshawn Henderson will kick it away here, center hash from the 40.
If he can boot this ball, it's just unfair.
To kick it away, Keyshawn Henderson, the 5-star quarterback. It's actually a pretty good kickoff back inside the 30-yard line. Richland will flip it back on the return. And out of bounds, Mekhi Harris near the 28. And so an effective kickoff, if nothing else, from Keyshawn.
He's a 5-star quarterback and a 3-star kicker.
Ooh, that might be generous.
Unranked PWO kicker.
There you go.
Preferred walk-on.
Although I would try to recruit him as a kicker just so I could get him to play quarterback. I guess wherever you have that NIL money available, whatever position, you need to put all your chips in on a guy like Keyshawn Henderson.
Powers, I have good news and bad news. Good news, we got Keyshawn Henderson. Bad news, he's as a kicker.
1:46 to play. Prosper Richland, perhaps their final drive of the season here in their inaugural Outlaw schedule season in 2025. That will have seen them win 3 games, as firing far side is Dawson. Now they're going to try to throw it downfield. It was a double pass that falls incomplete. With 1:40 to play, there's a flag down. As our officials here will huddle up at the 33, and a decent amount to unpack on that one. They will wave that one off. It'll bring up 2nd down here with 1:40 left. So, Carter, they tried the double pass, and I don't see why not.
I love it. Just throw everything but the kitchen sink at them. On that kickoff return, they did a backwards pitch. Now they're doing a double pass. Let's go deep into the bag of tricks to end the season.
1:40 left. Keegan Dawson hands it off, and going nowhere is Julian Thomas. Take us just down inside of 90 seconds here.
It is still a very exciting time to be at Prosper Richland right now. I mean, Gavin, you've seen the school building, how awesome that looks. Kenneth Gilchrist talked about how he had to turn guys he really liked away from the coaching staff because he had so many suitors on the defensive side of the ball that every defensive coach has defensive coordinator experience. And their principal, Luke Croy, too, he played football at SMU, comes from a truck driving family, now got his doctorate. So he understands the impact that athletics can have on high school academics. He's a football coach by trade. So they're building something special here in Prosper Richland.
Down to 50 seconds exactly, and the clock running here left to play. It'll be 4th down and 8 from their own 35. And Prosper Richland here, maybe the final snap of the season. The game clock at 35, the play clock at about 16. As they're under 30 seconds now.
Yeah, and they're 25 seconds away from their first offseason after their first season, and they're going to be building all throughout the offseason, looking to come out next year as a UIL team, battle-tested from their outlaw schedule they played against some quality opponents you mentioned, Gavin. They played a murderer's row this year.
A flag down ahead of the snap on 4th and 8 as the Raider players are dishing out hugs on the sideline. It is their final game together here in 2025. With 14 seconds to play, it'll be 4th down.
And they built a brotherhood in a short amount of time, too. A lot of guys coming in from another school, and they've done something special here on this field this fall and starting a new school. It's a very hard task that a lot of seniors, a lot of upperclassmen would run away from, and these guys charged head-on into the challenge.
And so Prosper Richland will not run another snap. They won't run another play. And that'll do it. Your final score here in the DCTX Week 10 Rising Game of the Week. Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, 56. Prosper Richland, 22. Carter, final thoughts, one from either side.
I think we're going to give our player of the game out to Keyshawn Henderson. 6 touchdowns tonight. The 5-star number 1 overall player in the state showed exactly why Houston Cougars fans should be very excited, not only because they're 7-1, but also because they have big-time recruiting momentum with Keyshawn Henderson, who is a leader on this field and a leader in their recruiting class. And for Prosper Richland, just hats off for our first season that set the tone for the rest of this school's history. It's always hardest for the first kids through the door, and these guys handled themselves admirably, and their impact will be felt for a long time here in the Raider Purple.
And that'll do it for us here in the Week 10 DCTX Rising Game of the Week. Want to thank Carter Yates, Greg Powers, and Sam Moore, along with Mallory Hartley tonight. And signing off here from Children's Health Stadium in Prosper, I'm Gavin Moritz saying thank you, stay safe, and good night, everyone. Houston Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, wins it 56-22 over Prosper Richland.